Oh wow, that game audio is really coming up in the background. That's loud. Alright, hi everyone. Hey Sass. I did too. For some reason that sound alert didn't go off and I don't know why. Alright, didn't go off on my end.
My chat room. Thank you, Seth. That's Spatulas. You've averted disaster.
You're coming. Oh, why are you so low? This is unusual. I don't want to be sit down either. But maybe it's just on. Can you speak there for a minute there, Zoe? I'll just look out how you sound.
Hello, this is me talking.
No. Sass says you sound fine. That's okay. I think maybe the game audio is just very loud on my end and it's droning you out a little bit.
Yeah, I did have to. I turned the Discord quite a bit on the game stream.
One sec. I gotta change that in game then as well. Settings. This seems to be one of those games that's weirdly loud for some reason. Alright, this is going to be a pain because anytime I have to tab away from the game, it doesn't seem to pause it, it just puts it in the background, so I'm pretty sure if I ever have to tab away from it suddenly while we're playing, it's all going to go to shit, but we'll find out. It really did not like, or OBS really did not like this when I was trying to first get it to recognize it.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's how you know it's a good game.
Yeah, always. I mean, look, in fairness, this probably came out of what, like 2012 or something, and has probably received no mechanical updates.
I'm 100% sure it's earlier than that because this was like a PS. Alright, is this a 360 game when they were doing when they were doing their summers of game stuff? Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. When that was something you had to act like you cared about instead of just a way to publish literally anything for $15 like this, I guess.
So before we begin, and I know at the moment it looks like most of the people watching are probably people who already know this, but I will say, so I've put in the title for the stream 2 commands you can type in. One is !BD for PP, which will bring up the Nightbot. Oh, I typed that in wrong. Great, good work, Owen. BD for PP. Which will bring up the link for donating for the National Network of Abortion Funds, which you will be involved in 24-hour stream on October 30th. Also, if you type in !Zoe, you can see a link to her channel. So you can to go find this so you can go watch as well. So I'll make a note of that as we go along as well. Because I think more people should get involved with those things and donate and be in with a chance of winning the cursed orb that is currently in my possession.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, of course. It's time to collate all that data of things we did. Catgirls.cam, of course. Thank you, Owen.
The official URL.
Yeah, as always, we are trying to stream for a cause that is important to us and is kind of imminent in society right now. And we would appreciate anybody showing up, whether or not they give. I think everybody's probably pretty stretched these days, money-wise. So, I try not to make a big deal of it. It's just nice seeing people around. We'll have some fun. We'll do some weird stuff. Cherva is gonna make thematic drinks for, I guess, characters, but also people involved in the stream. I'm not entirely sure how it's hashed out. It's still a bit under lock and key. That's our first stretch goal that we reached, is Cherva making cocktails. I know one is based on Victoria Grayson. I'm trying to think of what else. We're discussing doing a doodle stream with Wayne.
Yeah,
I'm not sure entirely how that would work, but I'm fairly excited about that. So I'm sure he'll have some donate X amount of small dollars and he'll draw something for you.
Speaking of Wayne, I was going to. I might as well post this in now while I have a chance. I got. Hold on. You might have to look at the stream itself rather than just Discord for this, Zoe. But I. Hold on, where did I put it? I got a nice little.
Well, I'd love to see it. I'm currently in the middle of a Diablo 2 ad.
Don't worry, it'll be there when you get back. I commissioned a little piece of art. In fact, two little pieces of art from Wayne, which I'm rather happy with.
It's a very long ad.
They are all really. I don't know why they're all so long.
This is how the other half lives.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Cute.
And then there's a second one.
I love it. I love stuff. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love the first one because it's just like, yeah, oh, there you go. Perfect synergy. I just really like the utility of the first one. It's like, yeah, you could put that in beside a lot of things.
So Wayne had put up with. I think I originally posted it up in like September, and somehow I missed it until he retweeted his own message about him doing like his commissions and stuff. And I've bought stuff off of Wayne's Etsy and stuff before as well. But yeah, I got these two because I really like. Because I was thinking for a little while. Okay, what am I actually going to ask him to do? And the first one happened because I came across that's based on the Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith pose. I saw that. I want that.
Is that from like E3 or something? That's much better than E3.
I saw that. I went. Oh yeah, that's the exact thing. I went. Oh, that's got versatility, and Wayne also does like icons. I went. Well, if I'm getting one, I might as well get both. So I was trying to go. Okay, what would I do for kind of an icon? So I went for something. Kind of smug looking, and I gave him the head tapping meme as the reference for that. So both of these are based on prominent. So what I'm saying is I'm appropriating black art once again as
culture,
as traditional. Yeah. So there you go.
The second one I could have also seen as that like sneering cat sitting in the chair.
Oh, kind of. Yeah, actually, yeah, I can see that.
That was my first instinct.
Oh, that's what I should have done for a mock-up for the Sea of Thieves stream, because that's how I felt part of that was everyone else being the cat and me being the woman held back.
Oh god, I didn't realize Wayne's doing little chibi commissions. I didn't realize this was a thing. I thought you just set it up with him. Interesting.
No. Yeah. So that's why I said I'd post him in now. If Wayne can pop along later, I will put it in again. So I will remind people. I'll hide them there for the moment. I also then went off and just so I could have it, made the little icon and emote for myself. So I've got that now for chat, so I can post smug face of myself in the chat.
That's very good.
Yeah. So what is this is Prophecy, Sass. This is the PC release. So this is the.
There are different versions of this game.
Okay, so there's two versions. The way to tell which version you're playing is if the I can't remember remember there was the character Sass when you got me to play this, or you got me to watch you play this. There was a character, and I mentioned that I played by an American voice actor in the version we were playing. There was also reference to a Scottish voice actor. Well, it turns out that's how you differentiate between the two versions. Hydrophobia Prelude or something like that was the one that originally came out on 360, and it was, I think, a third of this, and even more broken. They went back, they fixed some stuff, they added a bit more content, and that's what became Hydrophobia Prophecy, which was re-released on the Xbox, PS3, and PC, and that's this one, and that has the American voice actor instead for one of the characters. And it's, yeah, apparently better. I'm putting this on easy because I'm not putting any effort into this game at all.
Yeah, please. You know, not really knowing anything about this game, my gut says easy. It's probably not going to be a total coast anyway. Like, this game is probably, like, barely playable.
The one thing I like is there's I think the speed run for this is like 20 minutes. Because there's like there's a way to clip through basically every surface in the game.
Wow. So if it comes down to it, you have an exit plan.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
What are you dressed as? You went to sleep like that?
I was actually tempted to try to learn the speed run and then just play it straight, but I went, nah, that's not right. All right, what's this? So one thing that this version adds that the other doesn't is that you actually have waypoints on screen, and you don't just have to look at this thing all the time.
Anything I should know about?
The party of the century is happening on your doorstep and you're staying at home.
I'm gonna check on the network.
You know I don't pay overtime, right?
She like literally just got off work, dude. Passed out on the couch. Give her a break. Like there's no other reason why she would have that many straps on her body while she was sleeping.
So as well, when Sats was playing this, and I'm finding it now as well, the audio mixing, and this might be, you know, you might be noticing this as well. The audio mixing in this is really bad. It took me like about 5 or 10 minutes to realize that the main character is Irish. I literally couldn't hear her voice enough. All I could tell was that, well, she's not American and she's not English, so I can't quite tell.
Your system failing hardly amounts to a security threat. Just let other people do their jobs for a change.
Well, there's no harm in checking, is there, Scoot?
Fine. I'm too busy to argue with you.
Where are you?
I'm just by the security post in D-Cell.
D-Cell? What are you doing down there?
I'm working so that you can have the night off.
So, like I said, this guy now was voiced by a Scottish voice actor originally, and one of the things I was reading was people couldn't understand him, and that's why they changed the voice acting for him.
Oh, so they replaced him entirely. Did they replace everyone?
No, just him, because he's kind of the main, like, so between the fact that you originally didn't have waypoints and you had to look at stuff on the screen, and then you had him in your ear telling you where to go.
Yeah.
People just got lost and couldn't figure out where to go. So they went, well, let's put an American voice actor in
He
instead.
was all like, class. Diddy, you can?
Kate! Kate!
Jenny?
Who's Jenny?
Scoot? Is that you?
Of course it's me. Are you okay? Can you move?
I think so.
Well, now would be a good time.
Jesus!
All right. Bill Jovovich in Resident Evil.
A-deck is flooding.
A-deck? What am I doing on A-deck?
Alright.
Oh shit, Uncharted had come out, huh? So people were like, we can make games like this now.
Yeah.
Fuck. That ruined everything.
Oh god. Ooh. God, I might have to turn this game down again.
All I know is the ship was attacked.
Attacked?
The shuttle plaza. You can get to the upper decks from there. Go, quickly.
Okay. What about you? Are you okay?
I'm fine. D-Cell wasn't hit. At least not yet.
Not as bad as what you call it? What was the Cold Fear, where the audio in that spikes like every 5 minutes.
Yeah, classic like big cutscene volume energy.
It was specific to have feedback. Wait, what? Can I just? Did you see this? It's gonna
Vote
feedback
up or
up or
down.
down.
Oh, it's feedback. Oh, okay. Story, vote up or down. Oh
Bloody hell.
boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why vote down? SFX music.
Oh.
Wow. Wow.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I mean, good for them.
Wow. Yeah.
I guess it's a little thirsty.
God. I don't think the studio exists anymore. I think they're from Manchester, actually.
They got too dispirited by the feedback.
In fairness, there was a pretty good despaired shit in, like, you know, voice line there.
Systems down. You'll have to hack back in.
I can't. My mapping programs have been wiped. I'll need a new hack module.
Okay, scanning. There's a console on the level above.
I can't wait for the hydrophobia to begin. Water.
System without us knowing.
They couldn't.
I didn't see what the rest of the sign said.
Oh,
Big
so
words. It
that-
said water. Down the orange sign at the bottom of the stairs. Oh, okay. Change is possible. We bring life. We bring hope. We are nanocell. Nanocell technology making deserts bloom. Not with water, dude. Water is the world's most precious resource. Dude, you gotta like plant trees and shit. You can't just do it with water.
It's not like, yep, we just poured a big old bucket on the Sahara, and now we're all good.
keep up with, if we just go in there with one watering can at a time, we'll just make a big line so we're always pouring out a watering can.
I need to use that console. Hey.
It's stuff like that that reminds me of, like, a few years ago there was a bunch of, like,
Yates is dead.
what you call it, what's,
Sick message.
All over the ship.
God damn, what's it called? Where you, like, change planets to suit your environment. God damn, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Oh, terraforming?
Terraforming. Like, a bunch of, like, terraforming, like, tech bros doing TED Talks about, like, how they're going to fix deserts because
Oh my
people
God.
don't... But specifically, they didn't seem to understand the difference between a desert and desertification, which are two very different things.
Right.
You know, where, you know, land becomes inarable or, you know, and arid versus, you know, deserts, which are actual environments. That's what this feels like.
Yeah.
Of like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, deserts are bad. It's like, no, that's...
Kate?
Yeah. I think we mostly just want to stop it from being the whole world
Okay.
for what it's worth at this point in the process. I'm pretty dour on the prospects.
Fried. You'll have to hack the emergency release.
Damn. I can't get to it.
Is there another way around? What the hell are you doing?
Well, did say go to the show plaza.
Yeah, I was thinking you could use the lower entrance.
I have no memory of how much of this we actually saw.
Good
I actually saw
Lord.
it.
Oh God. Oh geez. So not only do you have to balance beam, I mean that just like that you have to actually like balance across something and then jump to something new versus like the Uncharted thing of like just walk across a beam for like the next 20 seconds. You've earned it. These puzzles have like never made sense to me in any game. This looks pretty simple, but
Yeah,
I'm
don't-
often.
I was gonna say I'm glad I'm using this controller because my other one doesn't have like it's got like Switch style triggers on it, so that would have been an immediate like, oh, I can't play this. I need to go
Yeah.
get and grab a different controller.
Wow, she's like Lara Croft. Look at her go.
Or Nathan Uncharted.
Yeah. That guy, I wonder what he's up to.
Making a movie, I believe.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
They're making
the,
like an Uncharted movie?
yeah, the kid who's the new Spider-Man is the Nathan Drake, I believe.
Okay. I guess. Like, I don't know. Has the wave not passed?
Apparently not. I think Mark Wahlberg is in that movie.
Gross!
Yeah.
Is he Sully?
Yes, I believe that's
Like,
it.
he really couldn't be anybody else unless he was the bad guy. Honestly, I don't think he has the chops. I don't really think he has the chops for much of anything, but that's neither here nor there. I love the part at the end of The Departed, which is a movie I fucking hate, to be clear, where he comes in to kill Matt Damon and he's wearing those like little booties.
Yeah.
But like not a hairnet or anything else. So it's just like, what?
I think he's wearing overalls, but you're right. It's like you're still leaving a lot of DNA here.
Yeah, it's like, since it's not even like the logic of it or anything. It looks so silly. It's
It
like
does.
that one perfect shot of like him standing in the hallway with his like wide leg stance holding like a little pistol. and then Matt Damon goes like, oh, come on. It's like honestly the best part of that movie.
The fact that look, I watched that movie once on it was on TV, so I was like watching it in like the 15 to 20 minute spurts between ads that
Right.
whenever movie's on, and in that watching it that way it was kind of okay, but it was definitely the actual like final ending shot where they show the rat in front of the courthouse.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah, it's like
Get it?
Ah.
I mean, if it was a better movie, I would have given it to them. I'm not
Yeah.
above a lack of subtlety. It's just like, I don't know, it's hilarious when, what's his name? Jack Nicholson gets shot 500 times in his like BU sweatshirt.
And then falls like completely like is laid out like fucking Jesus on the cross.
Yeah, it's so lame.
Oh.
It's like the worst.
It's like that's a movie. Like I said, I actually enjoyed watching it, but every time I thought about the symbolism in it, I went, "This is come on, you can do. I know you can do better."
Also, like just periodic 15-minute interjections from the Dropkick Murphys, just like.
Well, I guess I failed that because I was hitting the button to open door and the door wasn't opening.
This is where I became stuck.
Oh jeez. I sus.
Wow, Sass, I can't believe Owen's already lapping you. So
Look, I get confused in hydrophobic games.
It's not exactly a clear line of progression, I will say.
well, I was gonna try and look up on how long to beat if
Oh, it was
there's like
about
a difference between Hydrophobia and this, I guess, Hydrophobia Prophecy.
yeah. No, this is the one I was like I. So do I not just climb over? There we go. Yeah, no, this one is listed about 4 hours, and like, you know,
Yeah.
hey, we practically speedrun what you call it?
Layers of Fear.
Layers of Fear 2. So yeah, so
Yeah. Yay! I like a slightly hard out, but it's mostly based on my paranoia about public transit. So I think it should be fine. I just like to give myself a lot of bleed time because
Yeah.
like BART is pretty bad.
yeah, that's why I was saying if we'd start a bit early today just to make sure you had all the time.
Yeah, I think, if we're on track for about a 4-hour experience or a little more, that will suit me just fine.
There's an encryption
Yeah.
on the door lock.
I can't stay for long, but I thought I'd provide dashing commentary on
Yeah.
parts that you are already ahead of me, so I have no.
No, we need your empirical experience is so important to our understanding of this game. Jesus, I didn't know it was all this like uncharted climbing stuff.
Yeah,
So I
this
didn't-
seems like it seems like, hey, Uncharted but boat.
Yeah, this doesn't look like it's going to be horror at all. I mean, presumably you'll get a gun at some point and there will be a monster. Or maybe
Wait,
the
this-
monster... Is the monster the water? Is it just the water? Did
Is
they
it
try
the
to make like
Abyss?
a realistic quote-unquote game? Well, even the Abyss had like monster-like things.
The Abyss has a video game.
Does
What?
it?
Is it like an adventure game?
I think
Like a
it might
text
have.
adventure?
Oh, I completely missed the ladder. I was meant to climb up. I found the
Well,
path to the collectible, but not the way forward. Right.
there's also Abyss of the board game. It's kind of... kind of clogging the search results. People seem to like it though.
Ugh, wait, I have to go back up.
There's Tales of the Abyss.
Oh, that's right.
Everyone really likes that one. That's like one of the ones that's well thought of, and I just have no fucking clue why. I feel like it might be one of those things where it's like was gamers' first exposures to a philosophy that's like deeply coloring their judgment, because it's basically about a boy who discovers he's a clone like 10 hours into the game and then spends the next 50 hours being like, but am I human? So it's like, I found it a bit wearying. Sorry,
It's
what
like-
was that,
so
Sad?
It's like bad Metal Gear. Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't even give it that much. I don't know.
Jesus. Looks like mission orders for the terrorists.
Tales games don't earn a lot. You know, I don't like to give them a lot of generosity.
Planning this.
Have you played the new one? I
No.
have not.
People said it was like atrocious, even by Tales standards. Like even people who like Tales games were like, this game just like does not fucking work, and it's not even co-op.
so it was weird because I think I was hearing like very like it seemed to be. I heard very like conflicted things about that, and like I was definitely hearing people who liked Tales games going, "Oh yeah, no, this is really good," and then a lot of people, well, I don't know, it's weird. Oh hi,
I
Nana,
just-
so-
I saw so many
Oh, and then it's
people
empty. Sorry, I didn't notice you were here.
being like,
Hide gate now.
the combat is just like really fucking broken. Like it's all based on this like canceling system, but it still works like a Tales game. So you can't really actually cancel out of anything because like the AoEs are just this kind of weird formless action RPG attack, not like an action game thing with like a really easy to discern hitbox. Wow. 1 minute, huh? you-
I just want to say this Abyss game is a first-person shooter for the PC and is a sequel to the movie.
Do you have to shoot the water ghosts?
It's called.
Finally,
I linked it in
James Cameron's
chat.
vision.
Yeah.
Abyss Incident at Europa.
Oh my god, this is just startlingly ugly.
Research.
All right, does that might have to go on the list.
Yeah, I mean, it's at the very least, it's at an underwater sea base. We've done worse. Nansu had Barada last night. Congratulations, Nansu. Did you enjoy
I'm never gonna
the mozzarella di bufala?
There's only one review for this game on Moby Games, and it says this game should be dropped into the bottomless pit. No man, PC Gamer in 1999 gave it 68 out of 100, which that's a 100-point system makes no sense to me, especially when you have 68 or whatever.
Yeah, that was common. I really like, especially around then. I think.
Yeah, I think places really had to like force their way back to a 10-point scale, even like after the internet age. I feel like it's what really got that started. But yeah, the distinction of having like decimal points is really questionable. Like the whole thing is kind of questionable anyway. But to be like, there are very certainly 10 degrees of distinction between a 6 and a 7 is like a bit too much. It's like, okay, buddy, let's prove you can use the whole scale before you decide you need to square it.
It's an 8.2. What is the point to add to the discussion at all?
I'll be honest with you. I think stores are stupid. Scores are stupid. I've always resented having to put scores on things. And I kind of pick them arbitrarily.
How about you give it a score, but the score is like hidden in the text? You have to like
Yeah, you have to solve a simple puzzle to know what the score is.
Oh, by the way, it says trivia about the Abyss game. Lead programmer said naturally after everything more or less broke, it shipped in a somewhat broken state. So,
oh, great.
I mean, hey, look, I don't know. Video games sure do run out of money sometimes and then just get put out. I hope those workers got paid. They probably did.
Yeah, I feel like PC. Well, I feel like PC gaming in the 90s was like one of two things. You were either paid nothing from the very beginning, or you got like a massive payout, and then shipped, and then crap got shipped anyway. You know?
Yeah.
So. Oh, this developer that made the Abyss, their primary work appears to be a bunch of Land Before Time games, and also Babe.
Well, they were ready with the depth. They were like, we started going to beneath the crust of the earth to the mysterious dragon dimension, dinosaur dimension. And they were like, now we're ready to go deeper.
They also did Babylon 5 and a Star Trek trivia challenge. So really good Star Trek the game show. So yeah, really
Star Trek the game show, like hosted by Jonathan Frakes.
With your host Q, it says.
Oh God, John Delancey, of course. Who else would it be? They didn't have that Riker buddy. John Delancey has been in like a lot of shit like that. He shows up.
He was in Gamer.
Oh God, I totally forgot about that.
He was in for like I love that movie because like there's all these great cameos and like there's all these like actors who clearly got paid a decent amount of money and yet they are there for exactly one scene and maybe have 3 lines and that's it.
Yeah. I remember talking about that with you recently. The Terry Crews one really stands out of like, there's Terry Crews. Oh, he's gone now.
But like Keith David is in it for a scene. Keith David is exactly he's in a scene where he speaks for like 3 minutes, and other than that, he's the guy who basically says ultra kill. You know, he's the Quake announcer effectively.
Yeah.
You need to get off A deck.
Oh, by the way, did you figure out which I think you should leave sketch you were trying to figure? You were trying to remember the other day.
It's the one where they're pranking each other in the office. The guy's like riding the thing like a surfboard.
Yeah, okay.
And he flips the table over, and it's one of my favorite kind of like recurring bits, where at the very end, like the rich spouse that they keep like they go back to 2 or 3 times. So he just like pivots to this thing of talking about how this woman has married an old man for money, like one of his coworkers. And he's like, come on, Julie, like he's not that hot and he's rich. And she's like, my husband is very attractive. And he just like cocks his eyes. It's like, Julie. And then the skit just ends.
I was trying to remember if it was that one because I was trying to which one this is ringing bells, but I can't quite remember, and I didn't get that. I didn't actually. The problem was I was going to go. Oh, maybe I'll have a quick flick through them on Netflix and I'll figure out which one it was, and instead I just started rewatching them. I can't do this again right now.
That's literally what happened to me, except I kept watching it. I just didn't stop.
Sonic rounds.
Except Netflix is like really annoying with like what it remembers you've watched, so it'll be like skipping you around in the episodes. And I'm like, come on, I just want to watch them straight through as the creator intended. Oh, you've gotten a gun?
Have a Sonic round.
Are you like supposed to shoot a circuit breaker off the wall? I wouldn't recommend that, Owen.
It's like
Yes, explode the electricity. Uh-oh.
I don't think this is an option that'll make things better.
Yeah, I think maybe the room is filling and you're about to get electrocuted? No. Nope. Wasted. John Delancey actually has fewer video game roles. Quite a few, though. But most of them are like Assassin's Creed. By volume. He was in StarCraft 2. He wasn't even in like... Oh yeah, Star Trek the Game Show, Star Trek Borg. Those are the only ones he's been in as like a person.
I do remember him being in like a Star Trek game that they played on Giant Bomb at some point.
Yeah, I really feel like I played one of those as a child.
People of the world, prepare to witness the fall of Nanocell. Many have already surrendered to the inevitability of their fate, and those who continue to resist us do so in vain.
Is this just going to be like a totally uncritical view of eco-terrorists?
Almost certainly.
Like,
given the time period, yes.
Unproblematized bad guys. Or like, just very straightforward, like, look, we're blowing this shit. Kind of twist, I'm sure.
I tapped away, and I think I might have crashed the game.
Oh no!
Hold on. Right, get this back. Can I rescue this?
John Delancey was in Planescape Torment. I didn't know that.
That makes sense to me for some reason.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, those games are like incredibly nerdy.
Right, well, I think I'm gonna. Oh wait, I cannot. Hold on, this is a problem.
You can't even like find it in the list. It's a mystery.
It's like it's hidden because it was a full screen thing. It's hidden my mouse on the monitor where I brought up Task Manager to close it. Oh, I'll just have to. I know the workaround for this.
In Planescape Torment, John Delancey played Cursed, or Trius. I guess they're called Deva. That sounds like a really specific nerdy Dungeons and Dragons thing I don't care to acknowledge. He's like an angel dude. You find him in a prison and then you let him out and he's like, this world is out of balance, it's gotta fucking burn.
Okay, we're back. I've got to rescue this. I have to restart the stream for you. 1 sec.
Right.
I looked away for 2 seconds. What happened?
Oh, and crash the stream.
I tapped away for a moment to pick something, to move your face on the display so that you weren't blocking the subtitles.
Hubris, Owen.
Yeah, the game crashed.
I gotta tell you, I'm not entirely looking forward to that aspect of BD4PP, especially because like Gratz's brother is coming back much earlier. Not early enough that it would actually interfere with doing the stream, but it does require us to like move everything around. So I had to disassemble the whole stream setup and put it in another room. And I'm not like 100% curious that I know where all those cables go. So it's going to be a relearning process. But I plan to give myself a few days lead time, like do some practice streams to make sure everything is set up. I just remember one year I tried to like run the computer into the streaming computer via a capture card, and that ended up like with some really weird video effects because of like mismatched resolutions or something.
Yes,
I'm just like convinced that's gonna happen or something like it at all times.
I think because that's the it's like I bought this PC like a few months ago, and I was considering like using the old one for like, you know, as streaming from that and capturing off this one. And that was definitely the thing I was seeing people talking about. I was like, oh, you know, this is the like the common question of like, why is the weird artifacting? It's like, oh, because somehow this is capturing at a different resolution to what it's displaying at.
Don't ask me. I have no friggin' clue.
I don't know, I just hit the B-boot button and it kind of works sometimes.
Yeah. When you're, I mean, me too, and I try to live my life by that motto, but when you're doing it like for a cause and you want things to be nice, it can be a little upsetting.
That's right, I should probably donate, and then you can play Dark Souls as it was meant to be played.
How's that?
With sound mods.
Okay, I mean, are you in coordination with Nick?
No. That's just something I thought up at the top of my head.
Nick, producer Nick,
the frequency key.
has the phone
Looks like the server's nearby.
on all programming. I'm a little concerned that people like play Monster Hunter, and I'm like, what the fuck do you think? I don't know.
I was wondering that myself because I was going, what be, you know, is that just a? Yeah, it seems it's probably fine.
I think for me, it's just like a Monster Hunter mission is like 40 minutes long.
Well,
so I feel like we're gonna be able to do like 2.
I was gonna say, but that's the thing about Monster Hunter mission. It's either they're like either 40 minutes or 5 minutes.
Yeah. I guess I should check which version of the game they wanted to play.
I think it was the Switch. I assume it's the Switch one because it's the more recent one.
I have that, so that's not a problem. But I've barely played it. I like hit a point of depression where I was too depressed to play Monster Hunter. It's just like, this is far too much effort.
Yeah, I mean, why do you think I know how to play Fortnite? Is because it was a game that I literally do not have to think about.
Yeah, sometimes you need a game that just does not challenge you at all. It's just like my depression has always been sort of like that kind of like, oh yeah, I want like a nice crunchy mechanical game that I can just lose myself in for a while. And now I'm like, no, pudding. Only like play like Pudding or Binding of Isaac, which at least like it's easy to play. It's hard. Like, I'm not good at it, but at least when you die, you just start over and it gets easy again. So there's like no real reason to care whether you live or die, just like life.
Also, Zoe, if you ever do want to be on to promote BBPP or something.
Yeah, totally. I'm down. I'm happy to like do the circuit. If you got like any stuff you feel like would be thematically appropriate to have me around for, I'm happy to do that too. We can also just fuck around in some game.
Is this a more electrophobia? Because you
Yeah.
more electricity than water.
Water is only causing so much of the issue.
Yeah.
If the whole game is deciding when to blow up barrels to divert the path of water so you don't get electrocuted, that's like a lot to ask for 3.5 hours of somebody's time. Oh, Nansu got back his 3K down payment for the car.
Did you read? That was, I thought. I love reading that story. Nansu of
I
like.
did, yeah. The balls on that.
Just park the car and set the alarm off outside of it is fucking brilliant.
I would never have had the confidence to do that in a million years. I would have been like, "I'm sorry, sir. I understand, sir." And Nansu just went in there.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I read that one. Oh, that's. I love that. That's perfect. That's the way they fucking do it.
Like fucking go.
Got a massive power
Scoot.
surge.
Yeah.
So they changed the voice actor, but they didn't update his name to Scott. Scoot, a notorious Scottish name.
That got you?
Yes, apparently. Slightly too close.
This feels like actually a game
Power surge here.
where like the reviews, like reading a contemporary review for it would be edifying versus like, I bet if I read like a Layers of Fear 2 review, I would just feel really embarrassed for the state of criticism. But I bet like the Hydrophobia IGN review is at least like trying to explain why this is such a bad
water.
Did people really care about that? Like,
But now, like, I guess it was still the period like, oh, water has physics and doesn't just look like a texture on
yeah, I guess, like, to me that has always been a nice
nowadays, we could just play, like,
good video game.
We could just play Sea of Thieves and be like, wow, this is...
this water is
water.
Watery ass water.
The electricity. Highlight the door and open it. Quickly. There's water behind it. Open it now. You did it, Kate. You saved him. Hey, good luck, pal.
So I was going to say the thing. I did look up some of the reviews, and the reviews for the the original release of this, which was pretty broken, are all like fairly like bad, as you might expect. But then this version, which is the updated one, people kind of go, "No, it's much better now. It plays it plays relatively well," and blah blah. It's like, so I don't know.
IGN, impressive water simulation elevates an otherwise standard action game. 8 out of 10.
This was a standard action game in like 2001 that it somehow came out a decade later. Like, I guess it looks kind of like a modern game, but this is like what you would play in a late PS1 title.
Okay. Hey, the IGN review does start with, it matches the production values of the best PS2 games and boasts impressive water physics.
What are you telling me to do, game? How do I get down there? Oh, lovely.
Kill yourself. Actually, let me get a picture of the kill yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. 1 second. Oh, shit. I hit the wrong button.
Oh shit.
There we go.
So a year after they put this version of the game out, the studio closed down due to low sales of Hydrophobia.
Honey. Oh, rest in peace.
Oh, these are. Oh, right. These are. What? Who was that? Who was that Victorian economist who said that population would?
Malthus?
Yes, they're all like Malthus fans. According to the power of population is so superior to the power of the earth. That's Malthism, isn't it?
Well, they really were shooting for the stars because because if you look at what they've made besides Hydrophobia, it's almost all World Snooker Championship.
Hey, there's money
Yeah,
in
I mean
snooker.
that is straight up a Malthus quote. The power of population is so superior to the power of the earth to produce subsistence for man. Yep,
Yep.
that fucking guy. Wow, okay, so we know how deep their philosophical digging went. They were like, this kind of tracks. This old racist guy from like 150 years ago probably had it pretty on point about what the problem was.
We read the intro paragraph to the Wikipedia article and we're done.
I mean, there are plenty of people who have read that whole thing or like read his whole shit and been like, yeah, I agree with this.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. For a while, Grotz's dad would like quote that sort of line of thought and just totally uncritically. And we really had to like beat him down with like, who do you think he was talking about? There were too many of. Do you think it was like the English people? Or do you think it was the rest of the world he was worried about? Natsu says, dang, this is Umarok. What the fuck?
I'm looking at myself through the camera.
You look like a Matrix avatar or something.
I mean, it's not like-
She's from Matrix Online.
Yeah, exactly.
Can someone pull up a walkthrough? Because I'm already fucking stuck. I
Yeah.
assumed I was going to just open that
Let me get it.
malfunctioning door, but no. I thought the camera would maybe point to what I need to find, but...
Let me see. Hydrophobia. I can get you a Hydro Thunder Urfak.
I'm gonna pop off.
Okay.
Now we're gonna go to a Pride event, so...
Oh, have fun.
See you
Look at
later
us.
today if you like spooky anime games like Devilman.
Yay.
Yay.
Devilman.
Have you saved the chief? I feel like no.
Yes, I think that's what I just did.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, I think that's the second time.
Oh, first enemies.
All right,
Are
no,
you somehow like a quarter of the way through this game?
I've beaten one act, is what this thing said. Or
Yeah,
chapter.
you're in Act 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Act 2 of like maybe 4 at most.
Yeah.
Okay. You found the mouth. Oh god, they're just called Malthus something. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. Like the Malthus eco-terrorist group would be founded by like Elon Musk. It's embarrassing. I feel so embarrassed that video games exist.
That's English people for you, though.
Yeah, fair. Malthus logo above the door. Generator room. Have you gone up a ladder to reach the catwalks above?
I don't know. I don't.
Frequency key. Have you gotten the frequency key? Okay, yeah. I saw you do the thing with the transformers.
Yes.
What
I just did was hacked a camera, and it's the first time I did that. So, let me look for something about that.
Okay. I mean, maybe you're farther down than I thought. Let's see. I'm like also doing it on my phone because my computer is otherwise busy watching this stream. So let me see. I can search my camera. Is this like maybe the first time you've done the camera thing?
It was, yeah, it was.
Okay. Did you see a cutscene where a Malthusian was killing people?
Yes, yeah, that's what I just saw.
Okay, look for a door to the left and open it to let in the water. This will kill
Did that, yeah.
the
did that bit.
Malthusians. Chain reaction of explosions. Go back to the malfunctioning door. Is there a malfunctioning door?
Yeah, that's over here.
Have you found the cycloconverter's operational overview document?
I think that's what I just picked up over here, yeah.
Okay. That should kill one of them. Have you hacked a console?
I don't think I have.
Let me see.
Oh, wait, maybe I did? Was that what I did? I think I actually
Is
did
there?
that.
Can you go upstairs and shoot out a window? No, that's. You can do that, but that's just something for later, I guess. Once you've hacked the console, more enemies will spawn.
Okay,
I'm trying to figure out where this console would be.
yeah, I mean, it must be one of these things, but I think...
Yeah, it seems like maybe you're supposed to go through into some room where you could shoot out a window to get into it from the
wait, is it
top
just this?
floor. Could be.
Oh, okay.
Looks like it. Stealth. Oh my
Stealth.
god, it's a stealth horror
Yeah.
action. This is not
Yeah, fuck
horror.
that.
Yay! Easy mode. Easy mode. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
Scoot. Oh, whoa!
No.
Oh! Oh shit, you have like different guns.
Right.
Re-
Oh, it's already
remember she
broken now.
shot it out.
Shit. That'll be your exit block then. And the gas shutoff valve is in cycloconverters B.
Ooh.
Kate!
Oh, really? No game with a jump like that should kill you for that short a fall.
Yeah.
Shit.
You should be like a fucking Sonic the Hedgehog.
Shutoff valve is in cycloconverters B.
Kill them.
Is the idea behind the gun the Sonic gun that you have unlimited ammo?
I think so. Well, look, that kind of makes sense if you're in an underwater thing. Something that can fire, that's not a projectile. You know,
Yeah.
That at least is like, okay, that's thematically sensible.
Yeah. I feel like they also just like make guns that don't
How did Zoe get
Go
on board?
through
Where the hell are the security force?
submarine walls and stuff.
Force. Beef Shillingham can't even find his own weapon.
I guess we don't want to be firing firearms around all this like leaking gas and stuff,
And
but
the VFDs.
you don't seem that much of a problem. Gas and electricity are your
Genius. Why not draw attention
greatest
to yourself?
strengths.
Up. Oh, I see someone's laser pointer. Oh, wait, did that not oh. Wait. Oh, he's behind glass, that's why. Anyway. Oh, wait, how did not... range on these things does not seem... Oh wait, can I like hack this and do shit?
You can hack it.
Spy with my little eye.
Oh, that's just the camera. Hey.
Is I getting shot?
Yeah, I thought that was a turret.
Oh, I was getting shot. Alright.
Don't forget, on October 30th, it's our annual live stream for charity, BD4PP. If you donate early in support of the National Network of Abortion Funds, you'll get priority choices on what games we play. And also unlock new stretch goals. Full disclosure, I don't have $1,000 stretch goal.
You will also be entered with a chance to win.
The Gansphere.
The Gansphere, the cursed orb, as it is sometimes known.
Remember, the more you donate, the better your chance of winning.
The item that brings misfortune amongst all who hold it.
Honestly, we're at like the end of the horror movie trilogy at this point, where like the world might just crack that thing passes hands, given how life's been going. Have you watched it?
No.
Okay, I feel like Jay might have watched it. I don't know if Eelstan did. I don't know if Eve did. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it.
No,
definitely. I'm not saying you should.
No, it's
I'm just curious for the stats.
It's still sitting in the same box that Bree shipped it to
you. Yay! That's appropriate. Maintain the seal.
Yeah. I mean, that was the thing of like, I was originally going, surely this will all be over by the summer and I can do some traveling and I'll bring it with me, be a fun little goof, or I'll take photos of the Gansphere when I'm in different places.
Oh, that's such a cute idea.
Yeah. Guess what didn't happen?
Yeah, right.
Well, effectively 2021 didn't happen.
Yeah. Good Lord. We're still in it.
Yeah.
Alright, shoot that guy in the dick. Oh no, search his body. Scoot. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Right. Now we can shut off that gas and move on to the VFDs.
I thought... So it's using that little that tool thing that you can clip through walls and doors and things, because you're like using I think you have to be using the mouse for it, because you have to go into this, and as it closes you whip the mouse around so the head is through the door, and then you pull it out again, do another movement, and you're suddenly through the door. Mm-hmm. But I was looking at I wonder how easy this is to do, and I was reading the forums that people were talking about it on, because I just watched the speed run of it or something, and it was like that. What? Scoosh,
are you
Jesus
for
Christ.
real?
Christ. God.
You're lucky you're on a radio, because
Wow.
Next time I see you, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Anyway, yeah, I was looking at the forums. People were saying when these work, it's it looks great. But that the run I had watched apparently was this guy's sixth run of the day, where it just kept breaking. You could try doing all this cool out of bounds stuff, but 90% of the time you just end up crashing the game or getting soft locked or something.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like the most exciting.
No.
Glitch run.
Yeah, I think because that was what everyone was saying. You're just going to be I was reading the comments from the guy who has the record. Is going, I'm done. I got a run where enough stuff worked, and the stuff that didn't crash everything, that I got to complete it in a decent amount of time. The speed run for it is 20 minutes or something. So it's not you're losing hours upon hours or what on one run. But still. It's not.
Is the thing on the tops your points?
Yeah, your points for whatever reason.
I've been thinking it's your life, but I now realize that it's clearly not, and it's only been going up. I guess. That what every Uncharted game needed, points.
I mean, didn't they effectively have points because you would because you could unlock
oh sure, yeah, they had those points you use on collectibles, probably, or you gain from collectibles and then use to unlock concept art. Whoop! I mean, at least the checkpointing is reasonably generous.
Okay. Whoop. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna get out of that one.
So did I. The movement is a little. It's got a lot of momentum on it.
The pressure in the
Yeah.
gas lines must have caused a chain reaction.
Oh, okay. That one was going for so long, I was starting to look for what? Wee! I mean, that makes sense. That would probably be a no way out scenario.
Yeah.
The pressure in the gas lines must have caused a chain reaction.
It doesn't help that, like, for whatever reason, clicking in the left stick is crouch. So occasionally I will, like, as you might imagine, click to try to run and instead crouch, so it doesn't work.
I'm looking.
Let's see.
I know, I'm a genius. Now you need to find the next valve to cut off the gas.
Every puzzle in this game is seems to be just solved with, like, let's open a door and some water will come through. You know,
Yep,
where,
a valve, a gas.
I mean, I get it. If the water tech is the one thing you've got, then you're going to, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Water does put out fire.
it is true. Pokemon has taught me that. Nothing else.
Final Fantasy in my case, but the point stands. Okay, you've added the cipher.
No, I just I have to go back down. Yeah, if you're going to put a lot of water in your game and you're going to base it around swimming, yeah, might have been nice to make the swimming a bit more fun.
Oh no,
This
water pressure's building.
nobody knew how to make good swimming back then. Perhaps they still don't, but at the time, definitely not.
Little fuel supply. Okay.
Whee!
Right. Found the override valve.
Get your skates on.
Get your skates on, because it's gonna be ice.
Swim for it.
Who'd left a bunch of boxes blocking that doorway? That feels like a fire hazard. You know, someone's going to come along and go, no, that's against the safety regulations.
Yep, it's not up to code. I'm shutting this whole underwater boat civilization down.
We require all paths of ingress and egress to be clear at all times.
Yeah. No more oily rags everywhere.
Excuse me. This is listen. We have a limit of 3 stacked explosive barrels at a time.
Got 3 sneaky rodents ahead guarding the VFD facility.
Great.
It looks like
Hello.
something. Listen, take it slowly. You'll be fine. Just don't draw attention to yourself.
No, that's off doing his research on carbine.
I think of it as a badge of honor, Nansu. I don't know. Growing up, like, my friend had like a 1986 Camry well into the 2000s, and a great deal of fondness for that car. Some cars just last, and cars are stupid expensive things that cost too much money.
Shit, they're on to you, Kate.
The longer you can make one last, the better, I say, but I've also never owned one.
Yep. Same. Yeah, as I've been looking at different jobs and stuff recently, gone, yeah, I've been kind of spoiled in living where I do, because large parts of this country do not have good public transport networks.
Same.
Bit like you, Scoot.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment.
Please don't.
Bit like you, eh, Scoot? Scooter? Ah, you got 2 goo. I'm not really clear what any of that is used for.
It's different ammo.
Get you out of there.
That you haven't been firing,
No,
I presume.
because why would I?
Maybe it's faster.
One of them is just listed as semi-auto, so I assume this is like regular pistol rounds. And then I think the goo one is like meant to be like a stealth gun, but like who cares?
A while back when you opened that pause menu, I was surprised to see like all those icons and stuff. I was like, oh, this game has mechanics.
Semi-auto.
Technically. Oh, what? But you have like 8 bullets.
Yeah.
I think we've got their attention.
Hey, Jane.
Hey, Jane.
How are you? Hope your surgery went well.
Oh, yes. I saw. No, I did. I believe I saw her post. I lived, bitch, which I believe is a good sign.
Yeah. It's internet shibboleth.
No, why did you run towards me? Why were you on? Why
just
did you
lie down, dude.
Yeah, you're in like 6 inches of water. Just lie down.
Well, they're Malthusians to the core, so they believe their death isn't that good for the world too. He's just trying to take you out with them.
Oh, Discord is chopping you up something fierce there. That's on my network, is it?
Oh, really?
Hold on 1 second. No, that might be on my end. I'm suddenly dropping frames, which suggests my network is being a bit funny. Hold on.
Oh, no.
1 sec. Let me just give this a second to kind of level itself out again. Yeah, because if it's hold on, there's something going on in the background. What wasn't this? Did something suddenly? Let me just check that nothing suddenly decided to start like auto updating or something. No, it should be alright. Okay, no, we're grand. It leveled out there again. Yeah, I'm just watching it like suddenly the kilobit rate suddenly like dropped by like 2/3, and then I was just seeing dropped frames. But no, I think we're back. I think that was on my end, not yours. So, alright.
Yeah. All right. I spent like a decent amount of this weekend trying to terminate Ethernet cable, and not to much avail. I think I got like 6 out of the 8 pairs at one point, but my hands just weren't doing it. Cipher added.
These guys are you underwater
Shooting at you
me?
from under the water. God, that is commitment. Do you have like a mask or something, dude?
Can you see? You can.
Yeah, I can see him like
God.
bubbling around there. He's got something on his face.
Yeah,
I guess he's like a scuba trooper. He's still alive,
For God's
Owen.
sake, where are you?
Can't defeat underwater Jim. Come on.
Oh, I can squeeze. Come on, she can squeeze through
could
that.
squeeze that. I could give it the old college try.
Cycle the feet. Find the door.
I think you found the door.
I was, but it wouldn't. It's just saying it's malfunctioned. Further on, one I have to hit.
Bingo. I tell you, Kate, all this excitement is quite draining. Better find a way to pull
Weird.
the plug on this situation.
So you open that door to find a camera, then open another door.
To let the water drain out, which isn't a bad idea. It just wasn't communicated terribly well. That's what I was doing.
I don't think it's communicated terribly well. Like, I mean, you're draining it out for your sake, I guess. You would think that, like, I've watched Deep Blue Sea, and the amount of water and pressure, especially, is a large concern. And you can't just be like redirecting water. Oh no! Oh shoot, that is right butt cheek. Yeah! No, fatal shot. Got the left one. Got you a cutscene.
The VFDs, like I told you.
Her butt is too big to fit, says Donatsu. Maybe if she took off the like 17 tactical harnesses she's wearing.
Like, what's she even carrying? She's not. I've not seen her like pull out like a tool or anything. So far, she's got this little.
Yeah.
She's got the one thing hanging on her belt there. She's got the gun, and everything else just seems to be like padding.
It's not Death Stranding, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know
what
if
is,
you want to
really?
blow up the mine. Yeah. I like started that a little while I was at Grotz's place, the new one, but I didn't get anywhere to see anything significant.
Have you moved your? Did you move your old save over?
No, I couldn't figure out how, and I was just like, fuck it, I'll just replay the whole thing. I got that in me. I like it. The saves were literally on the PS5, and I couldn't access them. Like I had the original Death Stranding installed on my PS5.
That seems to be a common complaint about a lot of the PS5 stuff. It's like.
Yeah.
I think there was actually just something, and it was noticeable because of like how. Oh, it's all finished. How like I was kind of like that sounds like it should be right. There was I think they were saying on like the Bombcast or something the other day that that Sony had just put out like APIs for developers, and like here's how you can transfer saves across from PS4 to PS5. And it's like, sure, that. Shouldn't that have been something you maybe looked at like a while ago?
Yeah,
like maybe...
in my case, there are like 3 PS4s in that house, and only one of them belongs to us. And I had no idea at a glance which one was which. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna like plug all these things in and go through the 5-minute startup process of them restoring the database to find out it's the wrong one. Which honestly, like if I had loaded a post-game save, I'm sure it would have like sapped my enjoyment of it anyway, my desire to really have the full experience. Is there any worse mechanic in games than that like backwards jump into nothing, like the block jump of faith?
It's pretty rough.
Jane suggests she might be wearing a back brace.
Catch on pretty fast.
Oh, okay.
It does look like there's
that.
a certain amount of support to it.
Yeah, that does have that sort of look, doesn't it? That's true.
I don't, have they said what her job was? Like, is she just some kind of generic technical person?
I think that's kind of all that's really been applied. Is that implied?
That makes sense. Oh God! So here's like, speaking of violent water that kills you, have you put yourself in a very bad position?
Almost certainly.
I like it. Oh, just shoot these wires. Just like all electricity. Good job.
Yeah.
So there's a part in Castlevania Circle of the Moon where
which I just
there's
finished
a
on
sewer.
Thursday. Yes.
I gave up. There's a sewer, and I had forgotten that the sewer water hurting you is something to be solved with a relic, or rather, I figured that relic would be at the end of the sewer hurting you part, and it was not.
Yeah. I think even
so
when
I brute forced my way through with the rewind feature. Dude, that game sucks. And it's still better than Harmony of Dissonance, but like it sucks. It's balanced so poorly.
So as I was saying on Twitter the other day, so I finished it there on Thursday, like streamed the end of it. There was a section there in the late mid game which I actually quite liked, which was actually the bit leading up to the sewer and everything, you know, because you go through one area, you do like, you know, it's a bit different. You do some box puzzles, you do some different movement and stuff, and it's actually like the section between the bone dragon or the zombie dragon thing and then fighting Camilla. I actually what hurt me? How did I get hurt from jumping?
You bumped your nose against the wall.
Like I thought that whole section was pretty good, and I actually, so I got to the, but I got to the Hugh fight, and I'd realised I'd forgotten to save, or like kind of make a save state before that fight, and I was actually enjoying doing that fight, but the corridor leading up to it made me go, I don't want to go. I'm actually just going to use the fucking rewind and everything because I just don't want to do this again.
There's some pretty bad boss runs in that game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a certain amount of affection for it because it's before they figured out the formula and they were trying to do something a little different, I think, than just like recapture Symphony of the Night. So I respect it for that, but also like such a swing in the other direction.
Yeah, it's weird because like I feel like I kind of I went through phases with that. I would. It's the sort of game that I feel like, again, the era it came out and the fact that it was on the Game Boy, like you might not have had the best time the first time you played through, but then subsequent playthroughs you would have like probably actually quite enjoyed it because you would have known what you were doing.
Yeah.
And you know, you unlock the other like play styles and everything, and I could see that being a game that you would just like kind of play through the first time and go, that was all right, and then by the second or third time through you'd be going, no, I really like this. Like it is very easy for me to see how you would become like very enamored with that game over time, and also I cannot figure out where the fuck I am going right now.
What about those red pipes on the wall? Is that somehow like back the way you came?
That's what I'm thinking, that I have to go up there, but I can't figure out how to get back up onto them.
You can't climb on the big yellow one.
No, that's what I was trying to jump to before.
You're right, that's when you took the damage.
And like this door is flashing, but it's not like doesn't.
Is that something you have to like hack to open to put more water in the room so you can jump? It's
literally pointing me at that door. So I don't know. I mean, there's nothing else I can see. Oh, hold on. That's something?
Yeah, Jane, I totally agree. I especially hate games that make you double tap to run. I get that it was like 2002 or something, but it just feels miserable.
I mean, that's also like the controls on the on the Game Boy Advance. You know, that's only, it's got 4 face buttons and everything. Like if that was a full remake and they'd left in double tap, I would have been furious.
Yeah, true.
Being kind of a straight port, I'm kind of a bit more like lenient on it, but it still annoys me.
I can't even like find anything in the fact. I'm trying to track it down by like the thing they were just talking about with the mine.
Yeah.
And that's like not even there.
Oh wait, do I just have to? Oh.
Yeah, flood the ship some more, why don't you? Oh, that's
I have to shoot the door. That's what it was.
Oh, I guess if you think about it, that sort of red flashing is like a universal signifier.
It's just, I'm not really thinking. Like, it's weird because this
you
is
gotta
like
shoot.
Yeah, this is weird because it's just kind of a game where I'm not even thinking of the gun as like a tool to be used. It's just kind of there, and I forget about it most of the time.
Well, power to the port engines has been cut by 52%, but our friends in the loading bays haven't budged.
Damn it. What's so important?
Power to the port engines has been cut by 52%, Owen.
It's time to get back to
Watch out!
get off this deck.
Gonna get you, terrorists. With the port engine.
Which way am I going? Oh, where are you pointing me to? Wait, back up? Wasn't I just up there? But I'm still probably going to play through those other Castlevania games.
Yeah, I mean, Harmony of Dissonance has absolutely no resistance to it at all. that is its greatest strength and greatest flaw. I kind of felt like, well, I barely feel like I'm doing anything in this game, but at least it's not really challenging me.
Yeah.
But, you know, Aria of Sorrow is a classic.
Yeah.
So you've got that to look forward to.
Like, I'm kind of glad that everyone, like, because I was, again, they were talking about this on the Bombcast the other day, and I think, like, it was Jen was saying, like, was it Jen, what, actually, it might have been both Jen and Jason saying, you know, I think if it wasn't for the rewind feature, I might hate this game in relation to Circle of the Moon. So,
yeah, no, I, like, kind of used the rewind a little in Harmony of Dissonance, and then by the midpoint of Circle of the Moon, I was just full on, like, cheesing every hit if I needed to.
Yeah.
Which, like, fun. That's, like, the only time I've really played a game that has that. So I kind of liked it from that respect of, like, I haven't got to fool around with that kind of rewind very much.
That, I think once, I think that, I mean, I feel like that really did start in the Switch Online stuff.
Yeah.
And when I've seen it adopted, it has. I think it's all been pretty good. I meant to get up there.
Do you have to shoot that door the water is coming through? I guess probably not, because that's a gas valve you're going to have to turn off. There's like a big door that is spraying water back the way you came. I thought there was. Maybe not. I could have sworn you walked like right by one, but whatever. Door detected. Maybe that's where you came from?
Yeah, well, that's where I came in.
Yeah, okay, so it wouldn't be back here.
Look here now.
Control room, but that door is locked.
Yep. Like, this is a clear, like, climbing spot, but there's actually nothing.
You can't go into that vent?
Well, I can, but then when I get in, there's nothing on either side. Like, it's blocked. In fact, I think this is actually where where I was before, but it's like I don't.
Huh. Can you like? I guess. Wait. Okay. What if you go to the left? How far up can you jump? Because there's a pipe above that screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's not very well signposted. Yeah. The hell's the point of your red pipes if you're just gonna stick like one random gray one in there?
And as someone who discovered when I tried playing Uncharted that I just do not like whatever it is about the yellow pipe thing. I don't see it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't click in my mind.
Sure. Yeah. Everybody's got blind spots like that. It is well signposted. You climb a literal signpost. That's not to.
That's fair.
Drain the holding area. Oh boy, you're swimming around it now, but soon you're gonna drain it. And then you're gonna have to climb around in this area.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kate. There must be another valve on the opposite side.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry.
I think I'm gonna die then. God damn it, Scoosh.
No.
I don't know.
You can make it. You've got plenty of time.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, don't get burned alive, though.
Would you be surprised if I told you this controls like shit?
Yeah, I couldn't have guessed. The fire. Okay, it's got to be down there, right?
Hope.
The opposite side. What? Okay. Had to shoot it like a bunch.
I'm glad it told me to actually pull out the pistol because I actually didn't realize that would last for another minute or so.
I was a little, like, why are they bringing up the pistol right now? I thought like maybe a scuba guy showed up behind you.
The loading bay entrance is above you. We need to find a way up.
The loading bay entrance.
Do you remember those Wii U ports where they tack on a tablet mechanic? That's what this feels like. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But this
yeah.
predates the Wii U. This game invented the Wii U, is what we're saying.
The second screen.
Yeah. The second screen experience, as they. Gosh, oh.
Less tablets, more dual screens. They should make a dual screen switch.
Yeah. I was just watching the other day. Who was it? Someone was playing. I can't remember who it was. Someone was playing it one of the Etrian Odysseys anyway on a on 3DS. And I was kind of like going, I wouldn't mind actually like getting a modded 3DS so I could stream some DS and 3DS games. But they seem so hard to come by at the moment. Like there is a crowd here there's a crowd in Germany, I think, do DSs, but there's no one in Europe doing 3DSs, and the problem being with that the 3DS was region locked. So I could buy a DS from anywhere and that's fine, but 3DS, I actually need specific regions.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So I tell you this as a matter of cold, irrefutable fact. You believe the device in Electro Corp is capable of deactivating the failsafe algorithms embedded in our nanobots. You are correct. What you do not understand is that without these failsafes, the nanobots will view anything they encounter as a valid source of purification, whether it be oil,
Grey goo,
seawater, or blood. If you continue down this path, you won't have your genocide weapon. Instead, you will unleash nothing less than total Armageddon, and you will be consumed as surely as the rest of us. The antidote you have stolen is only effective while the failsafes are in place. If you deactivate them, it will become useless. I implore you, stop this madness before it's too late.
Why is that thing flashing?
The Malthusians don't want to destroy Nanocell's research. They want to turn it into a weapon.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You good? You're good. I think you're alright.
I don't know what that was.
More water. Let's fucking go to the top of this room.
Can I climb this? Oh, I'm gonna get shot. I'm getting shot. Where? Oh.
That's a lot of blood, I guess.
Yeah, that was weird. That's the first time I think I've seen anything like bleed in this.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh, yeah, I forgot I have a cover button.
Uh-oh. No, those barrels are fine. Only sonic bullets can detonate those barrels.
Oh yeah, everyone knows that, like, high impact, that's not bad.
They're hardened against that, but the high impact of sound, that's a different story. Oh, you only got 25 seconds on it. Are you going to be able to do it?
I think I've always just had, like, 25 seconds. Yeah. I think I've always had a time limit, I just kind of never noticed until now.
Yeah. Can't imagine why.
Oh,
Okay, Kate. Keep moving.
I've been playing Outer Worlds recently, not Outer Wilds, Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
That's a that game is.
It stinks.
It's what's annoying is that it, like, on like the majority of like technical aspects, it's pretty good, and in some cases it's really good. And yet it is the most like kind of lifeless and flat.
Yeah, it's really bloated
story. Yeah.
and bland. I also just like I hate games that have like loot guns and stuff. So that sort of bothered me, where I was like, oh, this is one of those games where I have the gun I'm going to use for the rest of the game, and I'm just going to keep picking up like Mark II, Mark III, Mark IV versions of it forever.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I mean, to be fair, that's how I kind of was, like in Fallout and stuff as well. Of like, I picked the few like weapons I kind of liked, and then just
yeah, but
either
then
modded them or, well, yeah.
I'd rather just be able to stick with them instead of just like still having to compare statistics, because you have to keep an eye out for better versions of the gun you're already using. Close Maffy. Another cipher. We've siphed all of them.
Someone else shooting at me.
Wow. The muffled sound really adds to the immersion of the combat.
But yeah, like I think what like kind of ended up bothering me the most was when I noticed like in Outer Worlds like how well it kind of did lead you to like some of the quests and some of the like the different kind of paths you could follow for them. Like, oh, you know, if you're you know, because if you're just following the mainline quest and everything, there's a few different ways to get there, and it leads you kind of smartly and everything.
Yeah.
But like, it's just such a fucking. Once you actually get out into the world, it just feels so nothing.
Yeah, I was really disappointed. Or I don't know. I can't remember who. That was what's her name? Obsidian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bummer. Like,
I mean, they've had like massive turnover. You know, they don't have the same like writing staff that they did like a decade ago. I think a lot of them went to work for oh, what you call them? Who are the folks who did like Divinity and all those games?
oh really?
I think
Good for them.
I think that's where some of them went anyway.
That would explain probably also like the leap in quality between the writing in Divinity 1 and Divinity 2.
But I think that's where a lot of them ended up, or at least kind of that's if I remember correctly, that's where what happened with a lot of that team.
Yeah, I mean, they're not really doing much of anything right now, it looks like, or like since Pillars of Eternity 2, which like I haven't played, but mad respect for Josh Sawyer, the designer on that, who's like the New Vegas guy. Yeah. And like a reasonably good Twitter follow if you want certain types of things. So the Outer Worlds, and then the other thing they put out recently is like Grounded, which I've actually played a bunch of. I don't think it's any particularly great shakes, and doesn't really strike me as much of an Obsidian game at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I suppose that is like the benefit and the curse of being bought by Microsoft, which is that they both have the freedom to kind of just muck around with stuff and see what works, because it will just end up on Game Pass and therefore adds value. So they don't need to worry as much about like immediate sales figures and stuff. But also means that like maybe they're not quite as challenged to like bring out the big or maybe it's just like, well, what will higher up at Microsoft look at and give us the green light on, which is like, here's our multiplayer live game with, I don't know, cosmetics or microtransactions or what have you. Versus here's our 30-hour FPS RPG, which maybe doesn't quite hold up. But, yeah.
Nancy, you should definitely donate to get me to play Divinity Dragon Commander. I think I might own it. Did you? Nancy might have given it to me.
I'm pretty sure that game has been like came out and was like immediately discounted and in bundles and everything everywhere. I don't know what it is about that game. I'm pretty sure I own it, and I'm pretty sure I've seen it in a like just pop all the time in places.
Come on. I was like initially like, oh, this is oh, okay, you have to go under.
Yeah, that's. I was about to have the same reaction.
What a twist.
Yeah.
I'm curious what an hour and a half or maybe 2 hours at the long end of Divinity Dragon Commander really looks like in a 24-hour stream, but I'm not against trying.
The dwarves are homophobic.
I mean, yeah. I mean, well, I tend to prefer the view of dwarves where they're all just like very broadly genderqueer.
I was going to say, well, look, just because
dwarves.
Just because you're GNC doesn't mean you're not also like. It doesn't mean you can't also be homophobic.
Those two things can definitely overlap.
Yeah.
If Obsidian wants to make a good game, it's got to be made for trans people like New Vegas and potentially nailed. That's what I was talking with this person last night, and I was like, oh, like I'm one of those queers who's like vampires, yes, werewolves, yes. And they were like, so which are you? And I was like, I guess a werewolf, but honestly, I'm on this like catboy thing. And then they were like, oh, isn't that just like sort of a trans femme thing? And I think they said starter pack, so like that sort of meme. And I was like, yeah, that. I was like, unfortunately, like there's like that meme that goes around about like, are you a trans person into New Vegas, et cetera, that I like try not to play into too much, because when it's like distributed as an internet meme of like, all trans women love New Vegas catgirls programming, I can find that like a little wearying, but I was like, at the same time, I am like a trans person that is pretty fucking into New Vegas, so I can't really get on my high horse.
Nanobots off the ship.
I was like reading the TV tropes for it yesterday, honestly. I don't know, that game has like a magical power to get me to care about guns. I'm like, oh, what are the bullet types? Like the MA1 rifle. I saw that shit. I'm like, yeah, I can read some shit about that. Is that oh no. Oh, okay, we got mutants?
Maybe.
Oh, right, because they're going to be like nanomachine mutants.
Oh, of course.
Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. Energy rounds. 2. This is like the least bullets I've ever seen any game give someone.
Well, it's because I've also got the infinite. I've also got the infinite, ammo weapon as well. So.
Yeah. It's just like, when are you ever going to decide to use your 2 electrical bullets? Also, the amount of like red barrels that are right next to guys is very like 2005. And that's interesting counterpoint, Jane.
At least it's just proof that everyone can like New Vegas. Trans men, trans women, non-binary people. That's everyone, right?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. Everyone that matters, anyway.
Yeah, everyone I'm counting.
Okay, where am I going now? Oh. I kind of did it as a joke.
Shit, Kate.
I did it as a joke because I was thinking, well, there's a big like electrical beam going across this thing, so clearly I'm not meant to cross it. So
This game is about you just like barreling into shit to cause structural damage to access your next objective. It's kind of fun from that perspective.
Scoot, are you there?
Oh no!
Oh no, I got the glowies.
You got the nano plague. You're gonna turn into the gray goo.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is basically just water red faction.
Yeah, I would say this is probably at least 2/3 of the way through the game, if not more.
Yeah, no,
You've
yeah.
gotten like a power. Oh, yep, act complete.
Oh God.
What did you say there was? Like 4?
There's 3. It looks
Three.
like 3, and honestly, the third one looks pretty short. So you're breezing through it. This is speedrun territory.
Okay. Those
I read like a bunch of Fallout TV tropes stuff recently because that is like, I need to read something, but I don't want to be challenged. It's like TV tropes, like tell me factoids about my favorite media, and that really got me thinking. Dang, I should stream Fallout 1. That's a good video game. I really gotta finish Fallout New Vegas before I start thinking about streaming other Fallout games.
Actually, you know what? That reminded. That's what actually I think put like kind of also didn't help Outer Worlds for me, is that watching you do the big empty DLC with that, like, and that's like not even my favorite bit of New Vegas, but it's actually got like decent humor and also really good voice acting. And then you hit like, you know, Outer Worlds, and it's like kind of humorless. Oh, and where where there is humor, it's kind of just bad.
Yeah, the jokes they try to make are like very boilerplate, like haha capitalism, oh so scary, and like there certainly can and should be a certain amount of that in there. Like I'm not saying there shouldn't be, but at the same time,
it's funny because I just did,
really over and underwritten in a way.
I just did a mission for one of the companions in Outer Worlds. I can't think of his name, but it's the guy where he's like, you go find his old like captain or whatever, and it turns out like he's been like a double agent, and he's talking about a revolution, but he's actually like working for the board or whatever.
Right.
And it's like, and then if you talk to, I think it's the doctor companion, like after it, she goes, yeah, no, like often the people who most like loudly talk about this stuff but never seem to act on it are the ones who really just don't like are either benefiting from it and are using it for personal gain. And it's like, I don't know if you wrote that consciously in what you were saying with this game, because as much as this is all like, you know, LOL, late capitalism, it doesn't seem to have that like it doesn't seem to take that into its own identity, you know.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
Like it's very much like it feels like a costume being worn and not an identity being a kind of prescribed to.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very weird, like, kind of nothing game, and I hadn't really heard about it before it came out, but I was immediately excited because I was like, "Oh, Obsidian open world game!" Like, okay.
It was a good, like, because I think the thing was that came out, or I think that was announced before they got. Okay, I got stuck there for a moment or something. Before they got bought by Microsoft, and their whole shtick was, or like in the trailers and stuff, was.
Are there wires you can shoot? Maybe.
Was, you know, from the creators of Fallout, as kind of like a dig at the, you know, and that's what caught people's attention, and of course it being Obsidian, and everyone, that should be good. And it's just, I suppose it wasn't until after that I learned about how much the turnover of that place had just like really.
I hadn't realized.
Yeah. I think that was the thing I kind of found out after, like, because I knew Josh Sawyer had left, and I knew that it was what is the studio that make Divinity. I'm trying to think of the name of that now. Is that? Oh, I can't think of that anymore. But anyway, I knew a lot of the I knew there'd been a lot of staff movement. To it and
Yeah,
everything,
I
so.
also can't think of the studio that makes Divinity off the top of my head.
Oh no, did I fall in a dirty Bioshock needle and get powers? Well, so far all I've gotten is kind of glowy. Not necessarily powers just yet.
Yeah, I like the Larian. Yeah, thank you. Endless Empty.
Yes, Larry Studios. That's it.
Now there's a video game.
Yeah. Which I've still not played.
I mean, you do have to like set aside a good 80 to 100 hours of your life to see it through.
And of course, you start off and you have to kind of come up with a pre-build, and are you going, are you going to go with a pre-built character or build a character? What sort of?
So the fun thing about Divinity is you're like so not locked into anything. Respecs are like frequent and costless. So, and there are no classes. You just kind of like get to pick and choose from all the various skill trees.
Oh,
so you can kind of just fuck around and not worry about consequences and change stuff out whenever you want.
Shot that guy right in the taint. Yeah, actually, that again. So when I was saying the mechanics of Outer World are like disappointingly good in a way, it's like stuff like that where like respecs aren't free, but they like have incurred such a small penalty that they might as well be. Like, so it's to stop you kind of like respecing constantly. It's more to like go, no, maybe take a moment and think about it before you actually do just respec for the sake of it. But like, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's a game which, like, I think the mechanical side of it is still like pretty good. I just wish it had better writing.
Yeah, I completely.
I think had they gone completely straight with it and just not even like gone with the cutesy, LOL capitalism stuff, I think it actually probably would have worked better. I still don't think I would have like enjoyed it massively, like from a writing standpoint, but I think I would have tolerated it more. Whereas now it's more like I kind of just want to skip the dialogue and skip what most people are saying by like one or two people.
Yeah, I completely agree with Endless Empty. Like, Divinity 2 is like the best tactical combat I've ever played, probably. Yeah. Like, it's just so well made, and there are very, very few like filler fights. Like, so most fights have kind of like a theme and like set, like where they're set. The environment is usually pretty important. And you're usually fighting like what amounts to kind of an enemy party with their own set of skills that aren't just like Monster Guy 1, Monster Guy 2, Monster Guy 3. So there's a lot of like, okay, I'm going to send my physical guys after the mages and my mages after the physical guys. And like, it's a lot of prioritization of like, who do I have to nuke down as fast as possible because they're going to ruin my day. There's a lot of crowd control. People kind of hate, they put in this like essentially like shields, like Halo shields or something. Like, you have this armor that has to be gone through before your health gets affected. And that means while people have armor up, they can't be crowd controlled, which people really hated because the original game, like, all you did was crowd control everything from the start. So it's just like, how many ways can I give my maids the option to like shock someone or tornado them up into the air so they fall down, or knock them over with mud or oil or whatever? And that was counterbalanced by having it all be random. So, or like, percentage chances, whereas in Divinity, plays armor and then you hit them with a knockdown ability and they always get knocked down, which I find preferable overall, even if it does sometimes kind of make you feel like, well, by the time I can use my fun moves on a guy, he's basically already dead, because armor is such like a large portion of their health that it can sometimes feel a little wasteful if you're like, well, I can knock this guy down or pretty much just obliterate his tiny health pool out of existence. So I kind of get the criticism, but it's also just like, what a way to play a video game.
Yeah.
You know, your average character has like 8 or 10 skills or something that you're just like rotating through on 3 or 4 turn cooldowns, and you're like always kind of desperate for. I don't know. It's just like you can usually only take about 2 actions per turn, and a lot of those actions are the things you never use in other games, like scrolls or grenades or stuff like that, like consumables that in any other CRPG like that you would like pretty much forget were in your inventory. But they really make it all work together. Also, yeah, like a lot of the companions are really well written. Again, the Senti says, like,
I think the first thing I kind of knew about it is it Divinity 2 where you've got the skeleton party member with
yeah,
on his head?
he fucking rocks. Like, he's so sassy. Like, sassy skeleton man out of Time is great. I actually kind of like the like shitty lizard dude. He's like that type of dude.
You always have had an affinity for shitty lizards, though. I read your Oblivion and then later on Skyrim logs back in the day.
Yeah, I like a lizard man who's a prick. He's like pretty bad, but he's like, because he's like, you know, from a culture that's still pretty into slavery and stuff. They don't really pull any punches with that stuff, but it's like, yeah, that dude's like a fucking garbage asshole who sucks, and then if you follow his quest line, he gets a dragon child that he gets to bring into combat. It's like, dude, that's your baby.
Do you get to name the dragon child, or is he already named?
I don't think so. But I feel like you just get an ability that's like summon dragon for you.
Well, I tried to see if there was a way around this area, and I just went in a circle, so I don't fucking know where to go to get up here.
Kill yourself. Right, yeah, Losha. I mean, I feel like all of the pre-created characters are pretty strong. Even like the ones who seem like they're just going to be like duty dudes, like Ifon, I feel like is the most suspect. Ifon and Beast are the ones where you're like, oh, that's like an Aragorn guy and a dwarfy guy, but they're like, you know, they're well written for. I it's like not the best writing in the world, but I think they get some pretty good like fantasy paperback juice out of a lot of them. I like their cannibal elves.
What? Wait, really?
Yeah, it's even better than that. So all or most elves are vegetarian. Can you shoot those cables?
Yeah, it looks like I can actually.
Most elves are vegetarian. Oh, okay. Well, you've unlocked the speed run.
Okay.
You're inside. Can you not move? You've clipped through the world. Oh, there you go. Maybe. Are you free? Nope. Uh-oh. Well, I guess you can always drown.
I don't want to do this fight again. Oh, yes, no.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey.
I'll have to follow their advice. Oh, no, it doesn't hurt me under here. Well. Oh, you got me this time, Malthus. Yeah, you got me this time.
Yeah, so elves in Divinity Original Sin are, I think, mostly vegetarians because when they eat flesh, they experience the memories of the creature they're eating, and that becomes a mechanical tool where a lot of times you will find a body part that if you have an elf in your party, you can eat to get like a clue about the current quest you're on. Or just like a little bit of flavor text, or in some cases you'll eat somebody's arm and like learn a skill they had. Like a really fun little surprise.
Okay, that's pretty good, I'll say. Like,
Yeah.
that's a really interesting kind of way to play with, like.
Yeah, I think it's like at least they're trying with some of the fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
So
versus Outer Worlds, where I found the house with the suspicious family. I went, these are the cannibals, right? And it was like, yep, these are the cannibals.
Yeah.
Like, at least that's a more interesting version of, or a more interesting story based around cannibalism.
Natsu says, like the comic Chew. Certainly never heard of that. Oh, no. I mean, I've definitely been waiting and anticipating Baldur's Gate 3. I'm a little disappointed to hear that maybe it's not.
I mean, I know the thing is, it's still like an early access game, so they are going to, like, you know, I trust that they will take their time as they need it. Also, again, that is Larian, isn't it? And like, I want to say they kind of have the money to take their time at the moment.
Yeah,
I think they did
I hope
really
so.
well off of Divinity and stuff.
Chew is a comic about a detective who can see memories of what he eats, so he'd have to eat parts of bodies to solve crimes. Can he just eat like a little bit of a finger or something? Does it have to be the whole thing?
Just like a little like fingernail or a bit of hair or something, rather than
Or does it have to be like a whole forearm? Like, how much are we talking here?
I mean, hopefully, I don't even want to like have to like eat an entire finger of a corpse. You know?
I really wouldn't prefer it. Like, there are definitely, like, I guess in Divinity, if you
don't get me
like,
wrong. I would eat a person like in general, but I don't want to eat something that's, you know, that's been murdered or something. I think you don't know how long that's been lying there. They could have been poisoned.
Bad vibes.
Was I playing something recently that also had this mini game in? Or something very similar to it?
I feel like I was.
Yeah.
Can't think of what it was. Return to Shuttle Plaza access.
God, the mixing is so bad.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize. I only just realized some of the enemies are actually spouting dialogue.
Yeah, it sounds like they're having like a very casual conversation with each other from like two rooms away.
Apparently, I cannot climb over this thing in the water. Just the door we're going through. Oh, there. Yeah, I feel like again that like matched the ooh, matched
Wasn't
the
there
like.
something like that in a recent Resident Evil type game?
Was I doing that in like?
Oh, it was Resident Evil 3, maybe? There's like a frequency thing you keep having to plug into walls.
Yeah. No, 2 yet to do that. And yeah, no, 2 it was yet to do that. You know, when you get to the lab.
Oh, boo. Oh, okay. Thanks for the checkpoint.
Wait. Oh, no.
Underwater battles.
Wait, is this... Wait. Where am I? Hold on. Fuck
Bump,
am I?
bump, 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 bump.
Can you stop shooting me for 1 minute? I need to figure out where the hell I am. Oh. Wait, so it... I'm here again, but I've taken out the electricity, but I need to use the... the checkpointing is weird. It's like it saved my progress, but not my position. So I still have to come back up here. Oh. You, hold on, what? Or is this a new? I can't even tell if this is a new area.
Well, I think you might be backtracking because the shuttle bay was like an overarching objective.
Maybe. It is. Listen, I don't pretend to pay attention to the narratives in these things.
Yeah, this is as much as I'm able to piece again together from my lack of paying attention.
Like, I think Layers of Fear 2 tried my patience. Like,
That
almost immediately.
was truly exhausting. This is at least like a little more straightforward. When you're going to be that, but also like not really do anything interesting, it's a really deadly combination.
Yeah.
Ooh, 30 bullets.
Maybe I'll try some of my other ammo.
You are definitely coming up to a point in the fact where they're like, just use all your lethal ammo, or you probably have a bunch of it, use it here. I don't think you're quite there yet.
Alright, well that semi-auto ammo fucking sucks because it takes like... Because it doesn't even knock them back.
But
it
it's
stun them.
faster.
No, it isn't. It sucks. 'Cause this one I can just keep firing.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. You've been charging it the whole game, so
yeah, I've probably charged one of these. I've probably charged one of these will knock them over, and then you can just shoot them. Wait, how have to go to that side? Oh.
Hello. Peekaboo. Bob. What's the lasers?
Right, so now I go over this side, okay.
What is the purpose of these ramp-like structures?
I think at some point there were probably actually bridges, but who knows?
Mm.
Oh, okay, I guess I
Nope, not going up that way.
I saw a laser.
Sorry.
Hello? There you are.
The world's ultimate aquatic special forces. I mean, these guys must all have masks. You don't want to, like, take one of their breathing apparatuses from them?
I don't know that they do. I think they just have, like, you know, night vision style things on them.
So they're just, like, really good at holding their breath.
I mean, this character seems to be as well, so I don't know. Oh, okay. Guess that's not it. Which... Hold on. Do I have to go, like, down and up? Can I just jump from here? Oh, I can. Okay. How do I take damage from jumping off of like an in-game?
Just trying to make... Oh!
it goes both ways.
Yeah, it does.
I had an interview on Wednesday, and as I was leaving, I had the moment of I grabbed the door handle as I was leaving. But like, I hadn't moved it. I just like that entire bit just went through my mind.
And like, choose wisely.
I kind of just had to go, and luckily I was right, and I pulled it, and it opened. But I had that entire like sketch just flashed through my brain.
This is what's happening, Owen.
Yeah.
It's real now.
It's like, yeah, the like that was always an anxiety that was there, but now I just have like a point of reference for it.
Just as vivid an image as anybody could paint. Okay, I can see where you
enough to go back over again. Wait, wasn't it that door? I don't know.
Swim, swim, swim. Hydrophobia.
Oh, you again.
Oh, you silly boys.
Right in the dick.
I've got your Malthusian solution for you here. Just sterilize all you little bitches.
Pills. We've got to find another dose.
The pills.
I missed Jane asking, but I assume in relation to that, Chuka, if he ate a potato, does he get potato memory?
It's beautiful. We can learn about the life cycle, or you could see through their many nefarious eyes, like a cosmic horror monster.
Nice. Oh. Oh, I'm gonna have to move. I'm gonna have to move a container again. Love this puzzle. Let's find out the fewest I can put into it to actually get it to that I can hit the door. Oh, I forgot to ask. Are you going to do you've not a Downtown or Ultimate Anime Challenge planned for?
Oh, I guess I don't know. Life is like so busy.
I was thinking
I'm
also
not
probably
counting it out. I guess.
No, I was just gonna say because if you were, probably about the right time to start putting requests in the Discord.
Yeah, let me see if I can manage it. I guess we could do it, release it like right before the stream.
Well, I mean, you could always do it during the stream as well. It's like what you've done a few
right,
times
of
before.
course, that is what we do. Okay, yeah, I can make that work. Okay. Cool. Yeah, sorry, hold on. I'm getting a text from my roommate. Give me 1 sec. I'll be right back.
I will just keep doing this barrel puzzle.
Probably be back by the time you're done. They make you move 700 of those boxes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so I read, there was, I think the entire thing was like it was some humble bundle or one of those sort of comics bundle things a while ago, so I did read it then. Like, and I thought it was okay, but I wasn't, like, blown away by it, and I have no interest in watching that show. Like, I actually think the casting that they, for the boys actually sounds very interesting. I think it's a good, like, selection of people. I don't need to watch this. I've read it, and, you know, it was okay. But it's very much in that, like, when if Superman was bad, would that be fucked up or what? Sort of level of writing, which is not really for me. I was just talking with my housemate the other day about like how kind of little I've really watched on like Netflix or anything recently. Like I watched, I did watch Mandalorian, and I did, you know, I liked the first season of that. Did not care much for the second season. Probably not much interest in watching any more of it either, just in general. There's kind of nothing really. Like I watched, I think I got one of those free trials of Twitch or of Amazon Prime. Excuse me, when The Boys was out. Oh, not The Boys. The Good Omens was out, and I kind of didn't like. I thought that was okay, but I wasn't like all that mad about it at the end of the day. Like it was an okay adaptation. I just feel it was missing some heart. Okay, don't stand in front of the guy with the shotgun. Where are you getting hit from? Oh. There you are. There's kind of no reason to actually aim your sights on this, because you're actually just, like, all it does is slow down your movement. I'm getting shot from.
Alright, I'm back. Wow, it's a suspiciously low amount of water.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, I guess that was an electrical hazard. Yeah, I went through. I went down through a shaft, and now I can't.
Oh, and let's stop at the eat shop.
Yeah.
We have eat shop at home.
Yeah, let's eat shop. Subway fresh.
All right, let me see if I can. Is this the shuttle plaza?
I assume so. I have to
Did you just have a cutscene?
A very short one with the like someone being held hostage or something, I think.
Mm-hmm. So you just got the pills that she was like, oh, need pills.
Yeah. There you go.
What an odd 11th hour mechanic. There's a dead body, picking up the pills. Once you've reached the area away from the plaza, go around the billboards. Oh, never mind. Oh yeah, climb on some shit. Oh, that's not even like a subway, it's like a fucking newsstand. Selling Snickers bars and such like. Oh, I think I can make it.
Oh, can't bust that down.
It certainly looks like, I mean, that's like universal video game language for you can blow this up. Oh, so I think I'm ready to get back into the Binding of Isaac streaming circuit. I think that's going to be my next thing. Do some Isaac streams.
Get back on the gravy train. Yeah.
Yeah. I was, for some reason, I got it in my head that like surely the Switch port would be out by now. So I was like searching all over it.
I thought
on the Switch itself.
I mean, originally was meant to be out in September, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was the initial plan, but now there's no clear release date.
Oh, okay.
And the Isaac on Switch is like too mean compared to the new one. The new one has like so many quality of life improvements that just make it like a slightly nicer game around the edges, and I'm not really ready to go back to like all these little things of like you having often like just one less hit, or the thing that always sticks in my craw is the shops on the first floor used to be locked.
Yeah, so you'd still need a key.
And they changed it so the first floor shop is always open, and that's just like, I can't go back. I can't go back to that. I've just now gotten a good look at your gun, which doesn't really look sci-fi at all.
Yeah,
so
it just looks like
you're shooting bullets from like your 9mm pistol. Which you're shooting like the Sonic ray gun bullets. Thank you, Jane, for your support. I guess I just like moved my desk up here from Grotz's place, so I'm hoping that will be like a little more comfortable to sit in and stream games than the literal table I've been using for the past couple months, which has like been fucking up my arm. Like it's just like not a good posture for sitting. So hoping I'm back to the tried and true method. Can do some more streaming without feeling like I need to take a break after like an hour and a half. My shoulder is falling out of the sockets.
Yeah, I'm like that's one thing I'm looking at now. Is like, well, because I've been, like I said, I've been looking for a new job recently, and a bunch of the ones I've been looking at would require me to move, and I'm going like, okay, what's that going to actually mean for my like general living situation at the moment? Because I will have to, like my lease is up in March, and like I've been here since, when did I move in here? 2014. Like I've been here a long time.
Yeah,
so
nice. Good streak.
So it's going to be different, you know. Okay, that's my problem. Those wires keep getting hidden. So I'm still kind of going, okay, well, am I actually like, all right, not so much even just streaming of like, what's my like, how much am I taking with me, you know, in a way.
Yeah.
Before COVID happened and everything, I've been in the process of like trying to sort through all my stuff that was still at my parents' place and do a proper clear out there as well, and that got postponed for a while. But
way to find those red pipes.
Yeah. What? Well, at least it was pointing directly at it this time, so that helped. But yeah. So I'm kind of going, okay, what's my next move, and what's the next thing that gets, you know, what are the next things I'm going to be like clearing out? And okay, I'm not climbing up. I don't want to swing. I want to jump up. Do I?
Oh, that rocks, Jan.
Yeah.
I don't know. I missed my little boom mic.
Yeah.
It's a very nice thing to just have it out of the way. I don't know so much. My life is so impermanent right now that I'm just like I can't buy anything.
I think I was
who knows where or when I'm gonna need to move it.
I think I was talking before about like how I was looking up when I'd actually gotten the what's it they call it, the affiliate status thing on Twitch. I realized it was only like a month after you did. But I had just like effectively stopped streaming pretty much after that. but I like the last thing I had bought was this mic and the boom arm. So I'd used them. I'd used them off and on for like 3 years, but now it's got now especially my current room. It's like this is an old house, so this room actually has an old fireplace in it. So the boom arm is attached to a mantelpiece, so it's the most stable structure I could potentially attach it to. And it's not attached to the desk, so even if I knock the desk, you get no wobbling. It's perfect. I was like,
that's what I did too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have my cool mantelpiece anymore for sticking my boom arm to.
Yeah, I did that just by putting a shelf in and mounting the arm to the shelf next to the desk, which, just like for books and whatnot. So yeah, same principle and benefit of like being a squirmy person as I am. Like just knocking the desk around is kind of inevitable.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm kind of like even amongst the people, like amongst my friends and everyone, I'm notoriously like wriggly. Like I just don't sit still. Like I said that interview the other day, I had to because everything is social distancing, so it was kind of one of those very comical, like those scenes in comedy movies where there's two people sat at a table eating breakfast or whatever, but it's a ridiculously long table. It was like that. So, but I'm at one end, like there's 3 people at one side of it, and I'm at the other. But the way, because it's 3 people, and I'm talking back and forth to them, but I have this visible like sway on my chair as I go back and forth, and I'm kind of conscious of it as I'm doing it.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I really have to like keep that shit on lockdown sometimes. I don't know. For me, I think it's just like the ADD.
Yeah, I mean, like I would do that at work, but like that didn't matter. 'Cause, like I was talking, it wasn't like I was talking to people for ages or whatever. And normally it wouldn't matter because you'd be sitting close to people, so you're not doing the quite as wide swings. But it was just because there was a distance, and instead of looking, I was turning like whole body and taking the chair with me in a way.
Oh, what's this? This cursed arm, Owen. This arm has given me a baleful presence. For the past 45 minutes, I've endured this arm.
The powers. Finally, the Bioshock powers have started.
I think the Bioshock powers have started literally for like the last room in the game, from what I'm understanding it, or close to it. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't know, I've always sort of been like legendarily clumsy. I guess you used to say spazzy, that is not preferred nomenclature. But I'm like the one who knocks glasses over and stuff like that. One of my like most unpleasant moments of that recently was like after the first really big wave of lockdown, when stuff started opening up again, I went to get a piercing, and I got in the car after the piercing, took my mask off, and like the piercing got snagged and went right with it.
Oh no!
So I had to go like crawl back into the studio, like holding my bleeding ear with like a tissue and being like, so.
Oh no!
It was very embarrassing. Really put the fear of God in me.
Also, I was going to say apologies now. So I'm not sure if the sound alerts are working. Oh, I probably need to sign back in to sound alerts because of the Twitch stuff.
Oh yeah,
that's probably why that's not playing.
The stream keys and all
that.
that.
I need to go fix that later. I'll refund you your points later on. Don't worry.
I'll refund you the 100 stream points. I don't know. I have 9,000.
Yeah, but I'm not a crypto person. I'm not gonna scam you out of your money or out of your bits, even if it is for only fake money. Oop. Okay. Maybe I should just call. Maybe I should refer. Maybe I should call or customize my points to be called BTC, so then I can tell people that they come to my channel, they'll get free. They'll get free BTC, and let them think what they will. And then get a bunch of crypto dickheads hanging around. I'm sure that can't go poorly.
Yeah. That stuff's a bummer. Oh, and IRL, more like an NFT.
Okay, I thought. Sorry, I saw that. I actually thought the auto mod had caught NFT or something as a term. I didn't realize there was a highlighted message.
Yeah, I like living in the West Coast, or especially now in the Bay Area. Like, you will run into crypto people in the wild, and it's like mildly upsetting. I'm sure I told this story before, but I was like talking to a girl on Grindr at some point, and she was like, "I'm really into crypto," and then it was like the Padme meme where it's like, cryptozoology, right?
No.
It was not.
Oh no. Because I mean, there was a good, I think it was Tasty retweeted like a thread from Dan Olsen today of like, because he's just been going through, basically he's been accepting every invite to crypto Discord that he can, and just recording the like blatant and disgusting scams that people have got going on, or just the really stupid ideas people have, like like crypto-based gambling, which will of course be free of all international regulation.
Naturally.
Yeah, because of course it will.
Dude, I think I could make. Oh, I guess the floor is electrified. Floor is lava. I get it. I was like, I could make that jump. Like, even with my 40-year-old knees, I think I'd be able to handle it. I once had someone in the server get mad at people recognizing the revolution socialist potential of the blockchain.
I think one of the worst tweets I've seen recently, and this is like not for like in a way just for the content of it. It was when someone was when someone was like talking about how kind of, this was before they kind of reneged on it, but when there was the question about like how OnlyFans is going to like ban adult content. I want to jump. Someone was like going through like, look, here's what my livelihood was like before I had my Patreon back in the day, and here's what it was like after they went through their stuff, and then here's what it is now that OnlyFans is around, and blah, blah, kind of conjuring that. That was a good, like, well thought out, like, look, here's what these systems are. These systems are terrible, and they are exploitative, and yet they are the least bad systems that currently exist. And we need to try to make them better, not necessarily, and not just kind of throw everything out and hope that's going to work. And someone coming along, like, a response to that going, oh, this is why cryptocurrency will fix all this, because, and I was like, oh, no, you fucking idiot. You do not need to burn down, like, a forest.
I don't know. I mean, it's just like, that's with the what? Like, the problem... I mean, ultimately, I guess the problem is that money exists, but the problem isn't like the material form of the money we're using. I don't know. Yeah, I don't get it. Honestly, I don't understand all that much about cryptocurrency or blockchains or any of that, but that is entirely because people would try to explain it as being very complicated, and then at some point I understood enough I learned the part like, hey, what's actually happening is the most expensive computers in the world are spamming numbers trying to guess the right number at all times. It's like, oh, okay, I don't need to learn anything more about it.
It's like I mean, the best like description of it I saw was like imagine if you had to leave. Imagine if you had to leave imagine if you left your car idling to solve Sudoku,
Yeah,
Like that
yeah.
was it. And I was like, yep, that's.
I like Jane's. The only NFTs I want to know are non-findable terrestrials.
I think
I was like, yeah, tell me about the Insulidian phasmid.
I think NFTs as a
Hydrokinetic water powers to attack Sarah while stunned or fall down the wall one step.
I was gonna say, I think like the abbreviation or take, like reclaiming the term NFTs for nice fucking titties is also an acceptable use.
Just flood the channel. I don't know. That's like one of the few things I've like blocked on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just like words like NFTs, like the people, even the people discoursing around them, like against them. I just couldn't be bothered. Like it's that and the pro anti-shipper thing.
Yeah,
those are like and Star Wars. Those are the three things I've muted on Twitter. I know because I just muted something recently, so I went through that list like yesterday or the day before.
I think when I started seeing like anti just used as a general term, and I went, I have no fucking clue what people are talking about when they say anti, and then finally, okay, I'm.
Yeah, it's nonsense. Right. It's weird. It's people. It's the fan fiction community's version of invent a guy, as far as I understand it.
I mean, like, look, look, fandoms are weird, and I'm not. I would not be surprised that they did not like. I don't think they actually had to invent a guy for shit like for weird shit like that.
No, it's like it's this thing of like, yes, those people exist. There are probably like 6 of them, or like, you know, proportionately, there are a few that like probably mostly keep to themselves and yes, are like a little gross, but I don't know. You can't see inside everybody's brain to know that they're writing like somewhat questionable fictional content for like personal reasons that are like, I don't know. It's a whole thing. I don't see why we have to litigate what fan fiction writers do to that degree. Fan fiction is like pretty hard to find unless you're doing it on purpose. Yeah, it's also like so inflected by Tumblr. Like, I don't know. There's, especially like among queer people, often really young queer people will decide that they're the cops now and they're going to be the queer police to make sure that the straight people can't say anything again. I mean, like, it comes from like a somewhat logical place of like, oh, we don't want to give heteronormative people in power more ammunition. Like, I kind of get that, but it's also like mixed with this like, please think of the children kind of BS that I just like can't stomach. And I think it's like this fictitious like, what if harm was being done? And I think it's just like, I don't know. I'm just like adjacent enough to that community that I absorb a lot more of that than I do the average internet drama, and it seems to be so based in this like sense of like, what if it happened? And then like finding the one example and going out of your way to like ruin that person's online existence, when it's like, yeah, they're being like mildly creepy. They're not a SNL cast member like creeping on a 16-year-old girl in AIM messages.
Oh, right. Were you reading stuff about what's her face?
I mean, I just heard about it. Like, that's as much as I know, but like, that's just for a recent example of like that sort of thing. It's absurd that like you're using the water pillar to like pick up these explosive barrels. It's like, I guess. Like, you could have just had a crate or something. The power of nanobots, Owen. Metal Gear Solid. Fox die. But also, yeah, I don't know, like, there is a certain kind of Tumblr person that I think of as a kid, and I think they often are, but they also can be in their mid-30s. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the talking about like semi-imaginary people or people in the abstract that do creepy things is like a non-starter conversation for me. Endless empty to sort of continue on with the point you're making. It's just like, yeah, it really pollutes your ability to like take someone on their own terms. If everything is like factionalized and sectarian, and it's just like what they're words that don't mean anything. Like nobody has evidence. Like nobody fucking gets what pro and anti means because it's like the most generic terminology you could choose, and that also helps people define it like however they want.
Yeah. So when I hear
So now it's like.
So this is the funny thing. When I hear pro and anti from an Irish perspective, I think pro and anti treaty. Are we really relitigating the Civil War again?
Yeah, like at least that's like an event with like, you know, serious ramifications for a large amount of people. Whereas this is like, it's just this cudgel that's like, my impression is that it started to sort of be like, hey, there's people writing like creepy incest fan fiction out there, which like, yeah. And now it's like, well, if there's people writing creepy incest fan fiction out there, it's kind of like a hop, skip, and a jump to like, somebody's writing fiction that contains abuse in a way that I don't like, even if it's like, you know, has its own artistic merit or whatever, you know, not to go down that road, but like, there are people who are like, just don't write about abuse ever now, because that might make somebody upset. It's just like, I don't know. I think people just like have this imaginary like 14-year-old waif in their head that might see something and have their brain irrevocably ruined. When I'm like, I don't know, like I guess in some sense anti like children getting their hands on porn. It's gonna happen. This idea that you have to like construct your online persona so meticulously that they can never ever see your presence on the internet, and you have to like scrupulously ban everyone who doesn't have an age in their bio at the risk that they might be a 14-year-old just is, I don't know, I don't get where that impulse comes from. It like, as a person who is like, oh, the place where I feel comfortable expressing my gender as a 15-year-old is like a sex role-playing server where I am sure as shit lying and saying I'm like 23. I don't know. I feel like to a certain extent, that is many of our fundamental experiences. Like kids are going to find a way to look at things they shouldn't be allowed to look at. It's not everybody in the world's responsibility to keep everything locked down. Yeah, well, Jane, I think like it just straight up is turf propaganda. It's just like repackaged in a way, the queer is a slur thing. Yeah. It's like, yeah, let's, I don't know, yeah, the factionalism of all that, and like the only way we can know each other is by having like a half dozen labels to spam out instead of just using this word queer because it's a slur, just like the word gay is, just like the word dyke is. Like, okay, when does it stop?
Because like that's the thing of like, from like, because it's like it's weird for me on this side of the Atlantic, because like in a way the slur I always hear, no one's using it in the context of gay people, and it's arguably the really bad one. But because people here use it as slang for cigarettes, I hear it all the fucking time. You know, and yet no one gives it a thought because it's not used in that, you know, it's not used in that context. But yet, like, it took me a good while to mentally get around the fact that, like, no, like, it's, because, like, you still saw references to, like, queer studies and stuff here, but you'd see a lot of people then, like, retitle it as, like, LGBT or, like, like, even, like, sometimes a more generic, like, even, like, sexuality studies and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think there's just sort of like a mainstreaming, rebranding part of that I am always skeptical of. Like, I just don't trust it, and it, you know, comes from in part a selfish place of like, well, I'm never really going to be normal. So by like any modern major cultural standards, so like this idea that like if we just button it down enough, we're going to get everybody to be chill about it, like just rings so hollow to me, and it just feels like at best a lot of wasted effort, and at worst, and in reality, a lot of like hectoring other people who are in your community for no good reason. When I think that the fundamental tension of living is that people brush up against each other's boundaries and sometimes hurt one another in ways that we learn from, you know?
Yeah, I think it's not, because it's not like, it's not about the like terms you use like in the moment, it's how you react when someone goes, maybe. You know,
I think it's just like, I don't know. I haven't met a lot of human beings in real life who like really care. I have, but they're all turfs who don't like being called turfs or cis. So sure, sorry. I think I generally meant like.
No, I know what you meant. It's just like a. Yeah.
I don't know, like even like fairly like binary trans women I know are like on board with that sort of thing. Yeah, exactly, like the Dave Chappelle thing, like which I don't know. That was one of the, I wouldn't say it like really hurt, but it bummed me out more than the average celebrity was, even though I know he's been kind of a dick for a while now. He's been showing his ass for like a few years.
It was the one funny thing I saw of that was like, because I think he actually used the word turf, and people who like turfs who don't like the word turf having to kind of like justify his use, like the mental gymnastics of like, well, it's
right,
okay,
because he was like, he literally was like, I'm team turf, and like, and what? Meanwhile, like, turfs are doing everything in their power to get their own little slur, so they can be the ones who are victimized. But yeah, I don't know. That's just like my personal. Dave Chappelle was one of the comedians I really liked when I was growing up, so it's disappointing when somebody like that ends up being a crank, but what can you do? I've kind of learned that you gotta brace yourself for that more often than not. And it's a bit cynical, but I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for any of those people to betray me. Was the water rising and electrocuting you there? Or no, there's always brother here.
I think there was actually like a thing on the side, and I only just kind of figured out that that's actually like a little homing device that actually will shock you eventually.
Yeah, Jay says, kill a dream foundation, your heroes will fail you. They sure fucking will.
That's the Wife City motto.
Yeah, I don't know,
that's the non-profit, the Kill a Dream Foundation.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess, like, I would just expect Dave Chappelle, having gone through that experience, to be, like, a bit more sympathetic to the feeling of being misunderstood in that way.
Where the fuck are all the There's... Oh, you're fucking kidding. Oh, this sucks.
Oh, it's Bree. Hi, Bree. Hey, Bree. I tend to assume Wife City is Jay, since Bree has her own.
Yeah, I think... Jay was
Twitch.
I was going to say, I think Jay said she's got 4 days of work at the moment in a row. So.
Ooh. I could kind of use 4 days of work if I'm being honest. Yeah. I'm like applying to a lot of jobs like I shouldn't be right now, or like probably aren't going to be the best job in the world, but work from home is like a priority. Gratz is going to Italy pretty soon, like basically right after the stream, which means Panza is not going to be alone. She has like an auntie that takes very good care of her, but I would still like to be able to spend some amount of time with her during the week.
Are Joe and Grace staying in California, or are they heading off?
Well, they're going to Italy now, maybe semi-permanently. I don't fucking get it. You know, they never make actual plans. So I don't know what's what. I feel like me and Gratz personally are kind of in a holding pattern until Gratz is going there to get her citizenship, which could take a long time.
Ah, well, that's good, because then if she gets her citizenship, then you can get what's known as Part 4 residency, and then you can apply for jobs in the European Union.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, it is a factor of like, oh, if we particularly feel like escaping to Europe is a good idea at some point. Unfortunately, like Italy is probably not the best country to make a lateral move from United States. It's like a lot of the same problems.
Hey, look, if you're looking for a country where people are freaking out about network security and you want any sort of job in networking, Ireland is the place to be, because there was a massive hack on that. There was a massive ransomware attack on the health service here this year. In fact, it was earlier this year.
I wish I knew anything about network security.
Hey, listen. Hey, guess what? I guarantee that a lot of people who wish anyone knew about network security. So even if you can sound like you do.
I'm in a really weird place where I'm finding. Also, Nanatsu suggested ZipRecruiter, which is like probably a good idea. I've been mostly using Indeed, which I don't know that I've gotten any actual like heat from at all. But anyway, I'm in this weird position where like I'm often finding what I would expect my job title to be just doesn't exist out here. Oh, you did it!
Wait,
congratulations!
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Because I worked for a big university that I just think had the capacity to have like a bit more specialized job titles. So like everything that would be my job out here is kind of my job and the job above it in the hierarchy that I'm not trained for. So it's been tough. I don't know. I've just been looking at like stupid nonprofit things.
Now let's enjoy your anime car show. Whatever that might. I don't understand what that word means. Or what that phrase means, but enjoy.
It's like a group, like a car show, like a normal car show, but with big anime decals on all the cars.
Or is it a drive-through anime convention?
Okay, so that is the antidote that they were like, it's not going to work once the safeguards of the nanomachines are off.
All right.
But I don't. Are we still under the out? I mean, I guess we've defeated the leader of the thing, so maybe now we can just shut down the nanomachines before they go gray goo. Oh, complete that game without failing a hack. Congratulations, Owen.
Wait, does that mean that means we've completed the game?
Yeah, that didn't ring like a last boss to you?
No, not quite.
Oh my god, straight up to credits.
Wow.
I really thought there would be something beyond that.
Maybe there'll be a post-credits.
Okay, I choose to believe.
Well, hold on anyway. There you go. Well, hey, guess what? You're not going to be rushing then or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I've got time to take a nice shower.
And I believe Ian's streaming later as well, isn't he?
I know. I'm actually like a little miffed. I'm gonna miss that.
Oh, are you? Oh, that's it's going to be Final Fantasy Tactics, I assume.
Yeah.
Based on the which,
Ian's stream, I think, is just Regma, RHEGMA.
I'm going to put that in the chat.
Oh no, you tapped away. What if it crashes?
You know what? Whatever. I think I spelled that right. Check that I've got the...
Yeah.
Okay, no, it's back, I guess.
Yep, that's him. So he's been doing little promo streams for BD4PP, which is on October 30th. Yeah. So he's been doing those every Saturday night, and he's doing Final Fantasy Tactics. And I think he's doing some kind of goofy, like, save edited run. So it's probably going to be fun.
Yeah, because I don't know if I'll be up for that, because I just like last night I stayed up and did not mean to, and ended up not being able to fall asleep until about 7 this morning, and then slept for like 3 hours, and I've been up, and I just need to try to actually sleep properly, because like I said, I've work and an interview this coming week, and also that interview isn't remote. I need to I don't need to go far, but I still need to go like I still need to
bummer.
take a.
I thought everybody figured that out now because of
It's weird because like 90% of the stuff I've applied for at the moment has been has specifically said they're doing interviews remotely, or at least first round interviews remotely. This is technically a final interview, but it's also the only interview. So, but like the few 3 of the 4 things I've gotten interviewed for since September have all done in-person interviews for whatever reason. They've all been actually to be fair, they've all spaced out properly and had good ventilation and everything. Like they've been doing a good job of it. It's just, it feels kind of, considering like 90% of the stuff I've applied for has said they're doing interviews in person, and yet I keep getting, remotely, keep getting called in for the ones where it's in person. It's a bit odd.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I have friends who are being converted to in-person work when it seems like they really shouldn't be, and it's a really good way of making you feel disoriented about the state of the world. It's are we acting like this is over?
Because my current workplace, I've been so we closed before the Irish government put any restrictions in place. We were about 3 or 4 days ahead of the government. Technically, stuff is meant to enter basically fully open state on the 22nd of October, and we have more or less been told don't expect anything till January for our office.
That's awesome. Good for them.
That's still some of our 3 of the staff I work with are social workers, and I am technically part of their support team. So at least for the moment, again, assuming I don't suddenly get a new job in the next month or 2, I will end up back in office for periods of time, but it's not going to be I'm not going to be in full time, and it's not going to be we are open for every single member of the public to walk in. It's we have 3 meetings a day spread out across 8 hours, and I just need to be in to file paperwork, and other than that I'm not going to be at the front desk, that sort of way.
Yeah, I don't know, even in California, I don't think we're in any kind of lockdown anymore. I think it's business as usual in the best of the worst that the United States responses to COVID have been. Even so, it's just I remember being surprised a few months ago when I went to get a haircut, and the last time I had gotten a haircut, it was one of those hold your mask to your face while I'm trimming your sideburns. And this time it was take your mask off, leave it on, we don't fucking care. It's all right. Yeah. I don't know if I feel comfortable with that, or rather I just try to be do you want me to leave my mask on? For all the good that ever does, because people are I don't mind. But I'm maybe you should, or you should be in the position where you're allowed to mind if you want to. Yeah, and I don't believe you are.
Because that was the thing, again, at least doing interviews at the moment, if I'm in a room and the people interviewing me kind of are once everyone's settled around there, completely opposite ends of the table, and the windows are open and the fan is on, and then they say we will, if you want to keep the mask on or take it off, that's fine. I think I had 3 people last day. 1 person chose to keep it on, and the other 2 took theirs off. And I was kind of going, well, great, everyone here in this room is alright, but that's that's people interviewing, that's management, that's not
Yeah, of course.
That's not general staff. This is a challenge room. I don't understand what
challenge
it's meant to be.
room. I was is this New Game Plus?
No.
It lets you use all our cool physics.
Yeah. This just said it was
around.
This one just said it was a practice thing, so I don't exactly know. I might be this might just be a room to muck around with the physics. But it did have some of that trademark bad audio mixing, so
You're still in it. They've still got the hydrophobia touch. all the pictures for this game, now that I'm looking at it, it's her with the wild arm corruption, shooting lasers out of her hand to summon pillars of water. Straight up like the last 45 minutes of this game. Not even. Like, now that I think about it.
So the funny thing is, I think... Oh, there was a map this whole time. I think...
Well, you know.
I think the ending was added in. Like, I don't even know that was.
Really? You like walk through a door and they're like, great job.
Yeah. Or I think there's a point where like it was meant to be like a cliffhanger because it was again only a first part of it. So there was a bit where she gets knocked out or something. I'm trying to remember what I saw like of the bit of gameplay from the original one. And then that's just kind of where it ended, and then I don't even think that was in this. Like that section got cut out.
Yeah, right.
But I'm not 100%. But I'm really not sure because I think that like the cop you like I saved at the beginning like was meant to be the person who like saves you after you get like knocked out or something, and I did not see that in here at all. So I don't know.
A little bit of Half-Life Barney showing up. Yeah. They really expected Hydrophobia too.
They did. They thought the water tech was going to win it for, going to do it for them.
In its defense, I was pretty sassy about the water tech in the beginning, and it did end up looking kind of cool, especially if you put it in when this game came out.
Yeah, no, for like like early 2010, you said 2011, something like that this came out?
Yeah, 2010,
like that's like it is nice looking.
Only a couple years after BioShock. This game like definitely did not have BioShock money, clearly, but challenge room, can you reach the top of the global leaderboard? Okay. I imagine I can. I assume it's a very short list.
I have to kill 10 guys, or at least 10 guys. There's a 10 guy.
Never gonna reach the top of the leaderboard with this. So is it like different challenge rooms, but they're all the same challenge room, and it's just, do you kill guys in it or climb around in it?
I mean, it makes sense that it's only the one, considering that I hit practice and it just brought me to this room before, so I don't know.
Oh, so the practice is maybe just like a playground version.
Yeah. And again, why would I bother with any of the other ammo types when I can just like knock them out with the stun thing or blow up stuff?
If you want to watch some good, like, terrorist-related content, the new VHS movie came out, and there's like one of the segments is about a neo-Nazi cell in like the 90s, and it's like actually very good and funny.
I know Jay said she watched it. I don't know, Brie, if you got a chance to watch it as well. But I know she said that's VHS 94, is it?
Yeah, most of it I feel like kind of stunk. It wasn't my favorite one of those, but the neo-Nazi one was very good.
I mean, when you say it kind of stunk, do you mean, it's a VHS movie?
Yeah, they probably all have their own little stinkers. I didn't find it any of it like particularly galling. I was just like, some of those ideas were pretty dull. Yeah. The nemesis or whatever in the first featurette is the rat man.
Oh.
And so they're always talking about the rat man, and the rat man is in the sewers. It's like set from a news crew's point of view, so they're like, we're here to find out more about the rat man. And I was watching it with Grotz in the living room, and the way the house is set up, there's like a long hallway down to the bedroom where a light was left on. So I was like, I have to go down this hallway and turn off this light because it's ruining my immersion in the movie. And as I was doing that, I kept saying, "No, rat man." When I turned off the light and like scampered back into the room. So I can't act like it didn't do anything to me because I was very much involved with "No, rat man, no, rat man."
Oh,
That
no,
being said,
Ratman D and I.
yeah, exactly. Well, Ratman DI for Do Interact. I want to meet the Ratman. I'm sure they're all very charming fellows, or I'm willing to take that risk.
Anyway, this seems bad, so I'm just gonna. All right, shoot me. There we go.
God, in all that time, you only killed 2 out of 10 as well, Lord.
Wait,
I mean, this combat is not pretty.
It doesn't save your score if you die. You have to. Oh well, fuck that. Let me see the leaderboards. Oh, you okay? So that's also where you were racking up score because you're getting it. Hold on, who's?
Yeah, okay, let's see. Oh, Cherba. Oh my God. How does it feel to be completely fucking owned by Cherba?
You know what? In this context, perfectly fine. Good for you, Trevor. You played this game on normal.
Eat shit, Owen.
Oh, that's great. Oh. Oh, that's fantastic. Here, take a screenshot of that. We'll send it to him.
Oh yeah, you got it. 1 second.
God.
I will put it in the secret mod channel. So Cherba will see it firsthand. Well, that was fun. I would say it was, I mean, it seemed less painful to me than Layers of Fear.
Yeah.
Even though it was more mechanically involved.
You know what? Let me have a quick look at my rankings here, and we might have one quick considering how quickly we got through that. Let's have a quick discussion, and you can tell me what you think of how I've ranked things so far.
Oh yeah, we've got time.
As it currently stands, so the games we've played so far were Carrier, Resident Evil Revelations, Cold Fear, Monstrum, Layers of Fear, and Blue Stinger. And that's basically the rank I have them in. I really liked Carrier. That's solidly number 1 for me. Resident Evil Revelations and Cold Fear, I've kind of they're kind of equal, the joint second place. Then Monstrum and Layers of Fear are kind of equal in their own right, and then Blue Stinger is all the way down the bottom.
I think that's fair, and I think obviously your opinion carries a little more weight to me since you are the one holding the controller. So where would you put Hydrophobia in this list?
Hydrophobia either falls into that tier with Monstrum and Layers of Fear, or it sits between them and the next tier up, which is Resident Evil Revelations and Cold Fear.
Worryingly, I feel like that makes Hydrophobia the 3rd best boat horror game of all time.
I mean, technically, well, no, it's the 4th because Revelations and Cold Fear are joint second. So you know.
Cold Fear. Sorry, I skipped that when I was writing it down. Okay, so it's not in the top 3. We've averted catastrophe by a hair.
I think that's where I might and it's not to say that this game is good. It's just that it's not the worst. You know, I mean, I feel like I might think on retrospect, maybe I'm also being a bit mean to Monstrum, but it's hard to tell without playing more.
I don't know. Monstrum is a bit of a nothing game. I feel like that's like its major issue is like, oh, I don't feel like I'm playing anything. It's like in Westworld when you show the robots a picture and they're like, doesn't look like anything to me. It's just like it kind of feels like barely a video game to me. But it's just the reality of this list that means it is the 6th best boat horror game of all time.
So the other ones I still have on this list and well, I finally added Resident Evil Gaiden. I don't know that we've ever talked about Resident Evil Gaiden. Maybe we did, but
this is like surely the 3rd time it's been recorded. Wealthy, when you're watching this stream later, please feel free to chime in.
Yeah, do we need to know? Did I mention, was there an evil guy? Because
I'm
I
just
feel like if that came up, it would have come up during Resident Evil Revelations, more than likely. But it's also possible that we discussed this. Like, I don't think we definitely. I don't think it's in the Discord chat we've had going on.
No, I mean, I really feel like Sass was there for one of it. So maybe we could get Sass's opinion. Like, I feel like she was the one who brought it up at least one of the times. I've never played it, honestly, like, even as a Resident Evil super fan. I, like, never had a Game Boy, or I didn't have a Game Boy when that game was around, so I never got around to playing it.
I
would be very curious.
I was only reminded of it recently because the GDQ channel had like a special, like I think they had like 6 different Resident Evil speedruns, and Gaiden was one of them. So I watched it. In fact, I think that was actually for, I think it was either I think it might have been the day of Resident Evil 3, if I remember correctly, or Resident Evil 2. Sorry, like they were doing it at the very end of September. So I watched that and I went, "Oh, this is on a boat. I need to add this to the list."
Yeah, no, it's a necessary expedition. I think like 2D Resident Evil could actually be incredibly cool, and I'm like very, very open.
Yeah,
to the possibility.
So that's on there. Then the other ones they've got of kind of the like, okay, Bioshock 1 and 2 kind of fall into this category. They're boat-ish.
Yeah,
they're boat adjacent.
if it comes down to it.
Yeah, Cryostasis is arguably like it is like if Submarine falls into the category of boat in the same way that, like, you know, if Submarine is boat, then, you know, we can then I think
I certainly think so.
Yeah, so Cryostasis is there. Then there's Echo Knight, Deep Fear, Night Cry, which I'm going to keep an eye out for now. Let's just see if maybe it finally comes on sale on Steam, and if not,
Bad video game.
We'll try the street the Steam sharing. Then Resident Evil Dead Aim, Singularity, Close to the Sun, which is the one I brought up recently, which also seems like a very Layers of Fear style game. So
I don't even remember that one.
I only mentioned it the last time because I realized it's on Steam. It's I don't know.
Right, Italian video game producer Storm in a Teacup. I remember that.
Yeah, there we go. And then finally, there was a freeware PC game called Dark Ocean, which is again it's very short. It's like 30 minutes, but I need to find a way to be able to play it and actually capture it in OBS and actually stream it through Discord if we're going to play it, because it does not seem to like being windowed. It is a rather old freeware game, and it does not play well with like tabbing out or anything like that.
That will happen.
We'll see. So let me move my Hydrophobia up this list a bit so I can have an updated. So I can put in my update. I'll remember to put in my updated ranking later. So yeah, so far I still like Carrier. I still really like Carrier after playing that.
Yeah, it is certainly the most functional of any of them. The most game-like, I think. It's a high bar.
Again, it's also the sort of thing of like, it's looking at it for the time. Like I've said, the problem I have with Revelations is it doesn't feel like it's doing anything. Like Revelations is, I think, as a DS game or 3DS game, makes sense. Like I can see how that works, and it's a good idea for a DS game. On PC or console, it just feels clunky and kind of like
more.
Yeah. Whereas Carrier is like, oh, this is actually rather interesting for not only like for both a survival horror game and a game that came out in like, what was that, like 2000, 2001 or something like that?
If even.
Yeah, like prior, like it actually feels like it's one of those few survival horror games that actually learned something from Resident Evil and tried to do something new at the same time. So yeah.
I was kind of just talking about that in like a Slack this morning, where I was just like, I don't know, Resident Evil 1 was like still kind of weird and still had some of that Alone in the Dark DNA. And like, not that I don't like Resident Evil 2, but I think it is a bit of a truth that like the dip in complexity from Resident Evil 2 to Resident Evil 3 also happened from Resident Evil 1 to Resident Evil 2, and people don't really talk about it in the same way. Just like that's sort of like a curious factoid. Like there's like there's some amount of Resident Evil 1 that is holding on to like an adventure game style. It's not a lot. It could certainly be more. I just think I think as a cohesive unit, Resident Evil 1 is like fairly unique for that reason.
Yeah, it's
an odd hybrid genre.
You should really watch that Waypoint stream they did of that. Like it's a few.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably about 6 hours all told, or maybe a bit more, because I think it was 6 hour long blocks or something. But it's really interesting to watch Rob, who has no experience with the classic Resident Evils, and it is the remake. It's not like Resident Evil 1. It's the remake of Resident Evil. Watching Rob has basically no experience, and Patrick played it at when it came out on the GameCube, so has vague memories of it, and it's like their perspectives on stuff, and kind of occasional accidental bad advice because Patrick is thinking of later games and all this sort of stuff. It's interesting to see how that formula evolved even after the initial evolution up from Resident Evil, pre remake one. It's a good. It was definitely a good watch, and I definitely enjoyed getting kind of seeing someone who was very unfamiliar with the whole thing, kind of see it for the first time in 2021. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, you've got me interested. I'll look it up.
And I suppose I should let you go and get ready for your day out.
This is fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna stream up. Let me just see who is streaming at the moment. Barley is playing the Xbox exclusive Buffy the Vampire Slayer game, and Ivy is playing.
That might be the good one, actually.
Maybe. Ivy is playing. Oh, Ivy is playing Silent Hill 2. So,
Yeah, there you go. Hook it up.
I think we'll send you over to some good survival horror.
Boat-like things, and that you're on a boat at one point. You're in a rowboat.
That's true. That's the reason Onimusha counted as boat horror.
Onimusha snuck in, so we would be hypocrites not to.
Yeah, exactly. Onimusha secret best boat game. All right, take care, everyone, and I suppose we need to decide what the next boat game is going to be and when it's going to be. But
later, Jane, and everyone else. Thanks for hanging out.
Take care, Endless, if you're still there. Bree, take care. R.I.P. Nanatsu. We miss you every day.
Yeah. Smiling at us from anime car heaven now.
And Sass is doing her stuff later on, and then Ian doing Final Fantasy Tactics at, I think it's 9 Eastern, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that sounds right.
There you go. So, all right. Take care, everyone, and bye.
Bye.